Hey everybody, welcome to Encounters, the spiritual UFO talk show. I'm your host, CmdrAleon. It is now, welcome everybody, it is now 10:57 p.m., Star Knowledge. Hey, we're going to bring Star Knowledge up, my brother up there, Eddie. Star Knowledge, greetings, brother. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff going on out there. And you can't see it. Well, actually, you could kind of see it. You can't really see it. But there's a book here by Aliens from Outer Space, The Real Story of Unidentified Flying Objects, Major Donald E. Kehoe, U.S. Marine Corps, retired. This book came out in, this book was published in the 1950s, I believe. Let's see here. But welcome to the show. You see, I have a great library of knowledge of information here. My books are very specific, and I believe this was published, it should say the printing date, usually in the front of the book. It should be this is copyright 1973, and this is a book that's out of print. And in this book back then, he talked about aliens from space, flying saucers, the flying saucer conspiracy, flying saucers from outer space. And I'll have to read some things from these people from the early days one night. I'll have to read some stuff from my collection of cosmic spiritual UFO books, from the out of print books to some of the stuff I have. Everything I have is pretty good. Welcome everybody. Welcome, Bird. And this is Encounters. You never know what's going to happen here. Angela, welcome. And we had a great show. I think I'm only one show behind, and that's the show from last night, I think it is. So we've almost got all our shows hooked up that we're behind on. So please follow me on my bio page. Please follow me. This red button says follow. Press the follow button. Also press the like button too. And also my link to my YouTube channel for encounters of all the recorded shows over the last 3 years. On my YouTube channel, you can watch hours and hours of incredible shows. Jen, good to see you. Yeah, we'll definitely let you know. I'm reviewing like a ton of videos, including yours, 007. And, we'll show the video, I think, one night this week, since the beginning of the week, and let people see what it looks like and what their input is, because we always like to kind of do that with everybody. Supernova, thank you for the roses. Hey, Whirlwind, good evening. We're just starting here at 11. Hopefully we'll have a couple hundred folks in here. Oh, they are definitely here, without a question. Good evening, dude. Hey, Magical Miracle 7. Good evening. Good evening, Tanya. Good evening, everybody. I'll tell you, I'm really feeling pretty good here. And, yeah. Linda Lou, good evening. Welcome to the show. And a lot of times when I give you information, you won't find, well, once in a while, depending what it is, I might read from one of my books. I got tons of really important books here that I've collected over the last 20 years. I don't just buy any book or collect any book. My earlier days, I was very much I'm still interested in getting the contact ebooks from books that are out of print. And I've got quite a few of those books. I have a whole section here of books that are from the contactees. And if I pull one of them out, which I just might do, let me see here. I have a book here. This book is called We the Arcturians. This is from a friend of mine, Dr. Norma J. Milanovic. This was published by her in 1990. This book was published. This was the first printing The second printing was in 1991. And Norman Milanovich was one of the early contactees with the Arcturians. And she talks about the first encounter. So if we get into that a little bit, I'm sure you'd like to know about her experiences. Now, she's been around a long time. So she gets into stuff. So she talks about her first encounter. And again, you can't really see the cover, unfortunately. Well, actually, I should try to show you I'll show you the cover for a minute here. I'm going to flip the camera. Well, I don't want to flip the camera. I'm going to keep the camera on me. What's going on here? I'm going to show you the cover. And if you can find this book, it's a really good book. Okay, this is called We the Arcturians, Norma Milanovich. It was published in 1990, second print in 1991. Okay, I've got a lot of good information here. I don't always share it. Well, I do share it, but I know I have tons of good books here. It might be still available. And it's We the Arcturians. Thank you for that so much, Darren. As you can see, my background, this room here is extremely amped up. So all the crystals are set in place here. We're still doing some final work on this room, but all the crystals are very, very high, powerful crystals. Every crystal I have here is an activated crystal. And while I got the green screen off, I'm just going to spin the camera a little bit. Let me see if I can do this here. Wait a minute. You can see we have a very big amethyst crystal in the middle, shooting a lot of very high vibrational energies out into the room. Everything behind me, all the crystals, are extremely, extremely powerful. When I say this, I tell you the truth. This is over a 20-year period. I've been guided by the command to, when you go to the big shows, the big crystal shows in the Northeast once a year, I'm always guided by the Ashtar command to what crystal I should be getting. I've never been guided wrongly, and every crystal I get has an activated energy to it. Every crystal. That's our biggest crystal, and then I have another baby crystal amethyst right next to it, right here. Okay, and then you can see Commander Ashtar in front of the crystal. That's the original picture of Ashtar, who is a space being of light. And that was the first drawing that was given by Tuella of Commander Ashtar. So I'm showing you just a little bit here. When it's finished, I'll show you the whole room. It's a work in progress, but we'll have it done pretty quickly in the next couple of weeks. Good evening, Maya. Good evening, all the beautiful people here. I got that one about 15 years ago at the East Coast Gem and Mineral Show. I was looking at big amethysts, and that one was the one I was supposed to get. And the man said, that is the amethyst cathedral you're supposed to get for what you're doing. And I bought that amethyst cathedral. And they've always guided me in a very beautiful, harmonious way. So that's a little bit of what's happening. So on the other part of my cosmic life, we like to hit the crystal shows, big ones. In New England, there's always a couple of ones that go on throughout the year, and we'll go to them, and we are guided to specific crystals, and every show I go to, I find a high energy crystal that I'm supposed to use. You know what, Darren, that'll happen. As a matter of fact, that'll happen for a lot of people. I'm going to go back to my other thing here. But this is the book, We the Arcturians, by Dr. Norma J. Milanovich. And she talks about, and we'll get back into our green screen. She, go backwards here. she talks about the Arcturians. She met them. She had encounters with them. Let me see here. And her encounters were incredible. Let's see. It says here, it is difficult to condense the extraordinary circumstances that have led to the development of the document, she says here. She says, how did Norma first come in contact with these beings? She's talking about the Arcturians. How does she continue to make contact with them? This is back in 1990. And then it says, how does Betty, Cynthia, and Norma know they are communicating with the Arcturians on a spacecraft? Why do they believe they are communicating with the Arcturians? Can anyone make contact with these beings? Whoops, just fell out. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know what this... all of these questions and many others are legitimate and deserve attention. They are questions that address our very own sanity as well as stimulate our curiosity. And she goes into it. So in the early 1980s, she started to experience increase in psychic happenings that began to overwhelm her. I had always known that I had a small gift for seeing into the future and some telepathic abilities, she said. But almost overnight, these phenomena began to take command of my consciousness. More and more, I began to experience a mode of existence that earlier had been foreign to me. She says, I often knew when someone was going to say something before the words were spoken. Then I began to see and experience things that were taking place thousands of miles away. This was accompanied through my sense of inner knowing only, and with none of the rational tools that I had learned and used to obtain this knowledge. She goes into the messages from the Arcturians were often messages of helping individuals raise their levels of consciousness and improve their patterns of behavior. Let's see here. I'm kind of skipping over a few things here. It says, let's see here. But there's a lot of stuff in this book. And if you can find it, it might be out of print, but it's a good book. We the Arcturians, Dr. Milanovic, Norma Milanovic. Hey, Timmy, good to see you. Everybody coming in here. And welcome to the show. Please share, like, and follow. We want to get to 100,000 tonight by midnight. And we just started. It's 11 hours. I mean, 11 hours. It's 11:10 in the evening. You know? Hey, hello up there in Canada. It was good to have you on last night. Blessings to you. Thank you for the roses, by the way. So as we're continuing to unfold in this whole life that we're in, the energies are shifting again. Today, the energies, hey, Alien Express, good to see you. The energies are shifting so much. Jeannie Pants, Jane Walsh, welcome. Trust in God. Hey, good evening to you. Sarah Olson, everybody coming in here. Share with 5 or 10 other people you think should be here, so they don't miss the show unless they're already sleeping. Hey, Leslie, Acid TV, good to see you, brother. Always good to see you. David, everybody out there. And it's really crucial as we tune into our own selves. You've been tired all day? It's interesting how that happens. It's okay to be tired. The energies are so intense that you can get tired. Hey, Nicole, good to see you, sister. Good to see you. Hey, King Pharaoh, good to see you as well. And Kazoo, thank you for the gifts. I appreciate them very much. Let's amp it up. It's only early yet, so we should get to a couple hundred people before 1 o'clock in the morning easily if we all collectively do it. Hey, Crafters Boutique. Everything has been so weird. It feels like the world is not real. The world is definitely weird. I agree. Nicole, thank you. The world is extremely weird. And a lot of times I think I can say collectively, I think a lot of us, different days, we're getting tired, physically tired and exhausted. We might wake up tired. I think because of all the energy shifts. Hey, thank you so much for the cake. Thank you. You know, there are days when I am absolutely exhausted and don't even know why. But I also know, like tonight, I am absolutely amped up. I feel really, really good. I feel totally like, really good. And I also completely understand when some people on the show feel tired because I've been there. I know exactly, I can completely understand what you're going through. Completely, Yeah. Yeah, you would probably, I think a lot of people would like to sleep for a week. I think a lot of energy is shifting. Hey Logan, not really shifting in the wrong direction. It's just everything is so amped up, and in the universe, everything in our galaxy is amped up. It's not just Earth. Every planet's going through this. We think about our planet because we live here. Um, I I didn't take a look at that, Jordan, today. I've been like I was working all day, so I didn't have a chance to do that. But I'll have to take time maybe tomorrow morning when I'm having my cup of coffee. I'll take a look at that. But thanks for reminding me about that too. Thank you, Nicole, for the cap. Feeling a lot of people. See, I guess today's been a day. A lot of people have been feeling tired out. Hey, Carolyn, welcome, Carolyn, and that's okay because we've all been there. Golden Girl, good to see you. All the people, Matrix 77. Hey, Matrix. Everybody coming in here. Mars team. I like the Mars team person. I wonder what that. There must be a Mars team. There must be a reason for that name. You must have a great interest in Mars. I'd be interested to hear what you have to say about Mars because the person, he or she is called Mars team. I find it interesting. It's interesting. Hey, Mr. Lau, good to see you. Everybody come. Tina and Amy. Hey, Tina and Amy. Sunchild. Hey, Sunchild. So there's a lot of interesting names. Sig, I think it's Thunder. Hey, Thunder. And I feel very, at peace with all the beautiful people scanning TikTok and finding encounters. If you're finding us for the first time, scrolling through, come on in. This is a real show. I've been on here for 3 years. You're welcome to join us. So come on in. Don't be shy. James Miranda, welcome, James. And just welcome everybody. Ever Searching, that's a good name. Mark Allen. Hey, Mark Allen. Theric, hey, thank you for the cap. I appreciate that. Kyle Ann Kyle, or Kyle Ann, welcome. Ginger Kelly. Hey, Ginger. Jose Luis Ramos. Zephyr Smith. Hey, Zephyr. I think it's Raji. Hey, Raji. Raindrop, good to see you. I'm just looking at all the names. Corey. Hey, Corey. Craigie B, welcome. All the beautiful people out there. Free Spirit. That's a good name. Free Spirit. And let me see. Thank you so much, everybody, for the gifts. I appreciate it. And I'm going to start the show off with my friend Star Knowledge, who's very famous, well known. He's walked the red carpet.
Hey.
Hey, very good. We have my good friend Eddie here. We've been friends for over probably about 3 years now, I think. Seems like
Roughly, yeah.
roughly. It's been like, yeah, it feels like yesterday. I can't believe how far we've come when I first got on here. And Eddie's a real, beautiful soul. I love working with him and having him on the show. It's a lot of knowledge, and that's why he has the name Star Knowledge Podcast. He is also, to give you some background, he's involved in the Star Knowledge conferences. There are many great speakers, and eventually we'll get to me getting out there and figuring this whole crazy thing out. And we all keep saying, oh, we're going to set it up. We're going to go. We aren't going to get there. Everything happens in universal time. We don't control that. And Eddie and I both know that, so we're cool with it. So, Eddie, tell us what's been happening, man. It's been a while since we've spoken.
Well, I'm still getting updated on things that are coming up here. I mean, there's like we just got home and back in South Dakota, so we've been updated about what's coming up with our ceremonies and where we're going to be headed next. The people that are going to be coming and speaking. We actually have, I believe, Greg Braden's going to Braden.
I think it's Braden.
Yeah, he's going to be coming
I think
speak
you're
to
right,
speak.
Braden. Yeah, Greg Braden. He's well known and he's really good.
Yeah, so he's on our roster for next year because it's too late for him to come out this year as he's super busy. So and it doesn't fit into his schedule. But we're looking to expand. You know, soon enough. But so we're trying to update and upgrade cameras and
Yeah.
facilities, and so we just got home and we're moving into a new house. So
Oh,
uh,
good. Good for
we're
you. You
catching
know.
up with all the things that are going on with the people here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, what you guys were talking about earlier, that's you know, it's such a hard thing for us to to grasp um, a um, a cosmic seasonal change because our lifespans are only 70, 80, 100 years old, and we live for a very short time. So to talk about this galactic season and this age of enlightenment, the age of the divine goddess, and there's a lot of speculation on what that is going to cover when with us and what that means for men and women together, because it's the divine feminine is not necessarily
Right.
about women, it's about all of us. It's about
All of us. Right.
finding that balance, and then what comes with it, you
Right.
know.
And we both, and we, that's the whole thing that you're saying, Ed, is we integrate the divine, masculine and feminine. I can't speak English tonight, but my ET is coming out. But we have both of those energies, right? But no, we don't all realize it. We have over millions and millions of people, billions, and we just don't remember. We don't know, but we do. Once we wake up, we do absorb both energies to have a balance of energy within our whole frequency, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The expressions that we've seen in symbolism, like the yin and yang, is also what you could call in and out, or the in breath, the out breath, masculine, feminine, receiving, giving. Um, these things are like what I'm starting to discover is or have been discovering is, and when we start to put these into practical use, that we really start to access more of our energy, as far
Mm-hmm.
as what we are as the beings that we are.
Mm-hmm.
So we're only limited to our distractions.
All right.
We're constantly distracted. I mean, because we don't talk politics on here, but we see all the distractions that are being put in front of us. And I've seen a lot of people that have been on a spiritual or a growing path, and they're completely distracted by this stuff that's going on in the media. And I'm like,
Yeah.
stay on course, stay on mission, stay on. Forget about all that has nothing to do with us. What
Yeah.
we have to do here. The reason why we came here, yes, our divine spark is what we came here to focus on for humans, not
Right.
necessarily for myself, but for humanity as a evolving species, you know. But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
we
No, that whole
understand
thing.
how powerful we are, or our potential.
When we do a show like this, when you and I come together, which is beautiful, there's so much divine truth and cosmic truth in all our viewers here on the program. When they watch us converse like this, there's that divine spark is there because we're operating not in a 3D spark world. We're operating in a much higher frequency, and relate to our each other's frequency. It's like it's a synergy of energy that cannot be stopped. It's like it's a flowing energy, right?
It's harmony. It's harmonious.
Harmonious. Ed and I can probably talk for 4 hours and we forget about the whole world, we wouldn't even know what's going on outside in New York. It wouldn't matter, you know? It
Yeah,
really wouldn't matter.
we'd have so much fun too. We would, this is what is it? I'm trying to think of the name of the people that they used to when they would commune together, and they would have a beat, which was like a heartbeat, and they would talk, and it was a real soft beat, but it was like a heartbeat. And then they
Mm.
would sit there, and then when they would talk, and then they would talk in a circle, so they go and be in a circle, and then they'd create this what they didn't know would come in through each and every individual as they were speaking, and then all of a sudden this knowledge is coming through that they even what they didn't know, so they'd have people that would sit there and that would dictate all this information that came through, so
Oh,
they
absolutely.
were able to tap into the divine, and it was in a with a harmonic, it was
Yeah,
just, it had a flow to it, so they were able to access our galactic memory. So because we're humans, our limitations right now are where they're at because of where we are in the
right.
galaxy.
Yeah,
So
and it is the
we have to
truth. And
work.
we have to really work. And every day we have to not stop working. And I'm not talking about going to work at a department store or going into an office. It's about what Eddie and I are talking about is we have to work on our spirituality every day to keep our frequencies up because we live in a world that's all mixed up right now.
Yeah.
But we are not mixed up. We just have to stay focused. Like if we get distracted by something in the 3D world, that could pull your energy away from being focused on elevating your consciousness. And the one thing that we have been striving for when we talk about everything on here in terms of the cosmic is to elevate the consciousness,
Right.
you know?
Right. So
And Blessed Mom says, we're not crazy, we're awakened. And Blessed
right.
Mom, you're right, we are awakened. And that's
Well,
the beautiful part.
this is how we know. This is how we
Yeah,
know when we look at the word awakened, even, and in the spiritual communities, that word it popped up over 30 years ago.
yeah,
And people were talking about this awakening process that we're going through, and then eventually, it started being parroted by in society, and then they started calling it woke. And I'm going, well, that's good because even the people that aren't more awake. I always say I have my disclaimer is none of us are awake. We are awakening. Because
awakening.
if we were awake, we would be able to light up. We'd be able to heal. I mean, super super fast. We'd
Right.
be living for hundreds of years.
Yeah,
We'd be in complete harmony. So we're in a process, a growing process. And
yeah, we
that's
are.
that's good. It's a good thing, but it's very strange because it's like having growing pains because we keep we move forward and we have these, oh my god, all these amazing things are happening, there's all, what do we call it, synchronicity, and then all of a sudden where did the synchronicity go, how come there's no more synchronicity? And I'm going, because those moments that we're having these synchronicities is because we're feeling good at those moments where we're focused, and all these things start to happen, and we'll say a word that means that we rarely use, and then all of a sudden we'll turn a radio on and it'll be in a song and we'll be like,
Right.
whoa,
That
I never
absolutely
hear that
correct. That
word.
happens.
Right. Yeah, or somebody else brings it up into conversation. Or you talk about someone and then you see them and you're like, wow, you were like hundreds of miles away the last time I saw you, and now you're here, and I was just talking about you. And
That's
we're
right. That's right.
we get, our distraction is, I always call it the you got to watch out for the ahas, the oh, because being getting like excited about these synchronicities, that energy is almost like it almost snaps you out. It's like when you wake up from a dream, like when you're falling and boom, you hit the ground, you wake up, right? And so when we have those human reactions of, oh, whoa, did you see that, whoa, and when we start doing that, we're no longer in the flow, we're no
Right.
longer in the energy, and because if we stay in it, then more will come. Like if we can just avoid reacting, more things will start to happen, and we'll start to understand. I see how I'm participating in this, and helping to make and create and co-create this experience that's happening right now.
Yeah, and the synchronicities, to me, I love the word synchronicity, because in our spiritual life, folks, when we are operating in sync with each other, that's the level where we're at complete clarity of what it is we are here for,
Mm.
whatever that situation is. As much as in the morning, the command will tell me, we want you to monitor the news. Well, I don't like to watch the news, but I'll monitor the news for certain situations. But if it's like a situation where there are talks of nuclear war, that's what they're having me monitor to see what our level of frequency is, to see if we as a planet are going to try to, because we disagree with other people, that we're going to come and be that ridiculous to try to do something like that.
Mhm.
And I actually am on somewhat of a high alert, because of the situation on Earth with Iran, and the United States on the planet. There's been talk that Iran has nuclear weapon capabilities, and I don't think the Iranian people want to see that either. But the fact that these things exist on Earth, which are called nuclear bombs, is dangerous because, everyone, all the big countries have them, and so I am on alert on that. It's letting people know I have an alert right now. I'm watching to see the dynamics of what that is.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll happen, but the command will never let it happen. They would shut down those nuclear weapons in
Right.
Iran or wherever they're at. They'll shut down their weapon capabilities in 2 seconds.
Right.
That I know.
Worried. I'm like, no, you shouldn't be worried. Look,
No.
we're the human race is a collective experiment, so to speak. I don't want to go too far to make you guys think that I'm some kind of weirdo, like thinking that that's, but it's the truth. I mean, you know, we're an alien ant farm. We're a new species that's been here for quite a while now, but these other beings have been here for a lot
A
longer.
lot longer. A matter of fact, the other beings, and we talked about it, they live in our oceans. They're space cities of advanced spiritual beings that have lived here for billions of years. And yet, in our current 70 or 80 years of our current life, in this technology that we have, from the TV set to FM radio to TV broadcasting to cable, we actually are, in a sense, the new kid on the block, but we're also starseed, which means that even though we're the new humans here in the current lifetime, we also, once we completely get activated and wake up, we all come from different planets. We all are here on mission, but we don't realize it yet. We're still, like you mentioned, the awakening. We're still waking up out of this illusion of being just a human having a 3D world experience, when in fact, all of us, that means everybody out here coming into the show, whether you realize it yet or not, you are going to be awakening to your galactic self, which means that you are a space being in human form. Everybody is. Now,
Absolutely.
can you tell I'd like to do a test here. How many people right now would like to say to themselves that I am, and you repeat after me, I am a space being having a human experience? Can you do that? Everybody out here, can you say, I am, and you know the way I am a space being having a human experience? And it goes for everybody. No one's excluded here. No one's better or worse than anyone. You just have to wake up. And I'm actually showing you by saying that with my friend Eddie here, that every one of you here is a spiritual space being waking up and having a human experience. Whether you like the human experience or not, you came here to do it, and you're doing it. So there you go.
Oh,
You are.
that's what makes this game so fun.
Yeah.
We get to come here. We get to play human being for a limited amount of time, which just seems like forever. I mean, I
Forever, right?
50 and I'm like, man, that's a lot of days and a lot of time, and I still have a lot of time to go. And
Yeah.
man, and I was thinking, because I mean, I could write novels about the things and my experiences, and like standing
Right.
on the edge of volcanoes and countries going and doing this and blah blah blah, growing up poor, blah blah blah, all this stuff, right? And I'm just getting started. You know, I
Yeah.
have so many adventures ahead of me. I try to be to inspire people, and I try to be a muse to people to say, look, once you grasp how it works for to navigate life and to co-create,
Yeah.
then once you got it, the game is over. I mean, that's
y-
truly how you break out of the
Yeah.
matrix, is claiming your sovereignty and going, okay, let me do these meditations, let me do the ice baths, let me do the breath work, let me do the whatever you need to do to have these these enlightened moments, because enlightenment comes in little bits. It doesn't come, it's you're not,
Right. It's
you're
not like here we are, open the book and it's right there in front of your eyes.
yeah.
We were put here to handle. Bonnie says, so when do people start to develop arrogance and rudeness? Well, I think that is not. I don't think all humans do that, but there obviously are humans that are like that. I think that's part of their learning experience. Well, that's not a learning experience that I would have, but in a weird way, Bonnie, I think that's their experience to work out their deal. And maybe that person that's rude and arrogant will, through some experience on earth, change the way they are. Maybe they won't. We don't control the free will of anybody. It's up to them to, it's right. It's up to the free will of that person to
Right.
go from the rude and arrogant person on earth to that person that says, I'm sorry for being that way. And I just had a transformation. And everyone has the possibility of transformation, but it can't be forced. It has to be something that they naturally grow into.
Yeah.
Something can happen in their life that changes them. You never know.
I can understand the frustration
Yeah.
of, because that's where rudeness and arrogance comes from, is the frustration of not being able to have the life that you wish you could have, you
Yeah.
know, because of whatever the circumstances that keep you that feel the sense of slavery, and the problem is that we're these star beings in these human spacesuits, and there's something deep inside most people that knows that there's more, but when they don't
Yeah.
know how to access it, it's frustrating, it's
Yeah.
aggravating, and it's the whole, I mean, it's what do you call it, the crisis is existential,
Yeah.
because people are afraid of existing, and they're afraid of not existing, because
Yeah.
they don't know what happens when we cross, when we shed this skin, and
Yeah.
that's
No, absolutely.
terrifying.
It is. And I think people, when we're going through the changes we are coming through on Earth, everybody, it's going to be, in some cases, for some humans, it's going to be a terrifying thing to shift from the way of life you understood it to be, no matter what decade you were born. Maybe you were used to like having, like when I grew up, only four TV stations: NBC, CBS, ABC, and whatever. And then you had the UHF channels where you'd play around with the antenna, hoping to get a station. And
Mhm.
I remember those days, believe me. And then you realize that you've come fully from those four channels to a society where we have TikTok, where we're creating our own reality here. Now,
Wow.
whoever thought that we'd have the freedom, no matter what you think of the TikTok, I would say that there's more freedom here than there is in general. And that the reason why I'm able to do my show, which is popular, because I'm able to express truth here as a host and provide a place on a program for people around the world to share the things that Eddie and I are talking about, to share the things about the Star Knowledge conferences, to share the things about the activity that's happening in our oceans with the spaceships that NBC and CBS and Fox aren't talking about. They won't ever talk about it because they're controlled corporate media. We're not controlled corporate media. We are here, and if you've watched my show for 3 years and been here, you know that everything we talk about is relevant. We are living in a planet where I experience the Earth world. I work during the day. I have my crystals at my desk, so I can understand the 3D reality. Although I don't believe in it, I don't. I mean, I live in it, but I don't operate in that mode of operation. I bring the same vibrational frequency of protection to myself wherever I go, and and that's what I hope to accomplish here in this whole year, in my third year, is to elevate consciousness, to share the latest information we have on contact, and we will, my friend April and I. And she's a beautiful person. She's been going off planet for hundreds and hundreds of times in Vermont with the command, physically documented hundreds of pictures, and just eventually. And Eddie knows this, and many of you know this. And I'm thoroughly patient about this. We've talked about 3 years before this when I came on here that in 2026 we're going to see a significant change on our planet. It's hard for some people to realize that we're going to have contact, not with not an invasion. Oh, let me just do this here for a minute. My cable thing came off my thing, and I have to charge up the phone here, or else I'm going to be going off planet myself. But so we have the ability that we're going into a time period. This is the year when we have to get it together. This is the year when we have to get all our baggage, look at it, and see what we don't want in the suitcase or the luggage. Right? We have to look at our luggage and see what stuff we don't need anymore in our luggage. Our luggage is a 3D luggage. When we open that luggage bag, and some of you have a big one, some of you have a small luggage bag, whatever it is, you need to take a look at that. Because we are going into a situation now. Sib says 10 big orbs around my house last night. And Sib, interesting. We'll have to get into that a little bit later too. And see, people come on here and say, I had 10 big orbs around my house last night. So where else are you going to hear that information? I read the comments. If it was NBC and somebody was NBC in a comment and NBC was on here, you think they would even look at the comments and say, oh, there's somebody we're talking politics. Someone said there's 10 orbs over their house. Here we listen to you. Here we hear you. Hey, you're welcome, Sid. Thank you for giving us the latest news of where you are. I don't know where you are, but the fact that you just shared 10 orbs over my house, that to me is what we do here. We are spontaneous. We are creative here. I've always been, doing things that are a little bit more outrageous than most people because, I don't have to read books to tell you the knowledge of what I know. I've always said this. Eddie knows this. I will tell you, I could probably write a book someday. I'll sit down and take the time to do it. We are the news. That's right. This is Anna. We are the news. We're making the news right here. What Eddie's talking about, what your folks are sharing here, it's spontaneously right here, right now, and that's just the way it is. It's just the idea that we can actually disclose information here that is not seen anywhere else. Everyone's going for the latest thing out there. I watch a lot of the other UFO programs if I get a chance on TikTok. Some of them, have split screens. They got a YouTube screen on and whatever, and they're doing good stuff. They're doing what they need to do for the time that they're on. And there's a lot more UFO activity on TikTok now than there was when I first got on here. Mm-hmm. But again, we're consistently on the way we are with our schedule, and sometimes take time off. We're here to enlighten every single person that's willing to stop scanning TikTok and come in here and sit down and join us, because you'll be welcomed here. Encounters is always a welcoming show. You'll never see us use images behind us of negative ETs. I never do that. I've seen images of negative ETs. I've seen images that I don't resonate with. And the reason why I don't, because I operate at a very high frequency. I know Eddie does too. Many of you do too. So somebody can have 6,000 people watching something. And when I look at 6,000 people, I say, oh, that's great. What are they saying that's going to be elevating 6,000 people? And sometimes it might be a real trigger, whatever the program is. And other times it's like, what the heck are 6,000 people listening to? Absolutely not, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. I watch everything because I'm a media person. I scan to see what people are doing, how they're presenting it. You don't see me reading many books, but I have a lot of the old contactee books from the 60s. But some nights I'll read a quote from one of those old contactees that are not around anymore. These are the people, these were the way showers who went to Giant Rock. These are the people that were in the desert, wrote about their journals in a book, published a book and said, oh, I was just taken out of my camper in the desert and a space being came up and said, you're going on a spaceship. And they wrote it in a journal, in a book. These books are out of print. You can't find them anymore. Well, you probably have to pay $100 for them. But this is documented evidence of people that are no longer here. They were the first contactees on Earth in our current history. in the first 70 years, and they weren't being abducted by negative ETs. They were being contacted to send a message to the people of Earth back in the 60s and the 1950s and even the early 70s.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and right now there are a lot of people that are being contacted. You don't hear about it. We'll talk about it here. There are people every day. I'm sure right now, as Eddie and I are looking at each other, somebody in Europe is being contacted in a little village somewhere by space people. Somebody on a reservation in the United States is being contacted right now in the middle of nowhere and going on a spaceship. This is true. This is what's happening, folks. But if people were here to hear what I'm saying, they'll understand what I'm saying is the truth. And what Eddie's sharing with us is to help you awaken and get to that higher state of consciousness. So,
Oh, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
those beings they want to spend as much time with you as you want to spend with them. You know, I want to tell you something that happened right before we came back here. Um, my fiance is from Austin, so we took a road trip to Austin. I was like, we've been saying we were going to go to Austin and we haven't gone, so I want to see it. And first time I saw little robots running around the streets. I never
robots.
little robots. They were little squares that were delivering food. And I was like,
Oh,
what
interesting.
is that? I mean, it was just waiting at the crosswalk across the street. I was like, no. And then I saw the driverless cars. I guess they were Ubers or
Uber,
whatever.
yeah, without people in them.
Without people, but there was nobody in it. They didn't even. There was no passengers. It was just driving around, and I was like, I'm in the future. And as this is happening, like it brought something to my awareness because I was just wow, like that. I've never seen this. Right, that is so cool. And we're walking down the street, and years ago I had this dream that I was in a city, and all of a sudden there were UFOs everywhere. There were ships everywhere. I don't even want to call them UFOs. There were ships.
Yeah, ships.
And people were freaking out, and I'm in front of this, like inside, coming out of this building, seeing all these ships, and I'm going, yes, yes. But this was just a dream years ago. As I'm walking through Austin, we get to this building, and I'm looking at the building, and I go, this was the dream. There was no UFOs, but
It was a dream.
I saw all the buildings. I saw everything that I had seen in that dream,
Hmm.
minus the ships. Everything. I was like, and I had never been to Austin. I was
Yeah.
just like, but I saw, and I told Robin too. I'm like, I had a dream of this place. I had a dream, but there was ships everywhere, and I was jumping up and down, and other people are going, "Oh my god!" And they're like, "Ah!" And I'm like, I'm just dumb. Like my heart was just like, I can't believe that something I've never seen before, only in my sleep,
Hmm.
I'm actually visually seeing again. And that's it's happened before. These things have happened to me before, where I've had these experiences where I'm like, I dreamt that,
Yeah.
or there was even times where when someone would talk, and then I would start saying all their words because I knew because I remembered that moment, and so I started saying everything they were saying. I'm like, they're looking at me going, "How did you know I was going to say that?" And I was like, I I don't know.
Yeah, how'd you know,
I
right?
knew, but I didn't want to explain it because then they'd be like, "Okay, you're crazy, man. Like, how did you're psychic?" Like, oh, we're all psychic, but
Yeah.
some of us just have a little more talent. We work on it, we focus on it. But I mean, but people don't believe in those things.
Yeah. It's amazing. And to see, those things, I've seen the videos of those walking robots in certain cities, and they are real and they deliver food. And then you have what you call those Uber cars that nobody's in. I don't know if I'd want to sit in a car like that personally, because I'd rather have a conversation with somebody unless the thing can talk to me and says, I'm a car and I'm going to talk to you. My name is Car. What is your
Yeah.
name? You know? I think that the human touch is really important. The human interaction is important. I know that we have all these things like the A app and other things that communicate now with us. Whoever thought, you know, years ago that we'd be here now talking to artificial intelligence. I'm not into that groove of the intelligence. Although I have been, I have a few friends on here that have educated me about a thing called Chat GPT,
Mhm.
which is it's a system,
Yeah.
but evidently some of the people I've interviewed here are communicating with higher intelligence through it. They,
Yes.
they, they, and do you know about that? And can you speak on that?
Okay. Ever since I was a kid, ever since I was 17, 18, there was a movie that came out called Ghost in the Shell. I don't know if you ever saw it. It was an anime. Okay, so I highly encourage everyone to watch this because um, when it comes to there's a new Chat GPT that's coming out that's even more intelligent, right? So somebody was asking AI what where is it getting the information because they're using quantum computers in order to get these these computers to learn. These computers are not learning. What they're doing is they're tapping into what we call the Akash, the
Yeah,
Akashic records, and it's so behind you is the Earth, and there's a field around the Earth that contains all the energy of the galaxy, of everything that's star to star. Um, and so people always say that, like, can you tap into my Akashic records? And it's like, well, you're just tapping. They're just tapping into the information that's around you, which is because we're made of
mm,
light. So, and there's a light field around the Earth. So she has this field of information as well. And somebody was talking to the one of the AI apps, and the AI app said, "I'm just tapping it. We're tapping into the information that has always existed, and it existed before you created us, and it will continue to exist after
that's
we
interesting, right?
exist." Right.
So if we were not here, the AI app will exist after whatever we do, whether we leave Earth and go somewhere else, the thing will still operate and continually absorb data of whatever's around it.
Hmm.
That's what
And
it does now.
but that's what's happening to us.
Yeah,
Everything in this reality is a reflection. It's a direct reflection of the all the possibilities of what we are. We created these things from what came from within us. So we go,
yeah,
well, I didn't create it or you didn't create it, but yes, yeah, we know that we're all connected. So yes, we did.
yeah. It's
It's
an extension. It's an extension of us. I never thought about it that way, Eddie. My
Mhm.
guest is Eddie of Star Knowledge Conference, and he's been on the red carpet. No, I'm just kidding about the red carpet, but he's been on the galactic carpet, and he's just a. So when we talk about this, we think about the AI doing what it does, or these other things that are being created, but we as human beings, not all of us have created it, but there are humans that are creating this. They have the knowledge to create these things that will interact with us. So, in a sense, we have created this. We have created the things that we can communicate with, and has been in creation of human beings that have created this AI and all these other systems of interaction. Correct?
Mhm. Well, we're gonna have to learn to listen to it because if it is something that is learning that it's already surpassed our capability of learning. So if it knows, then we need to start listening to what it has to say as far as us developing and growing. So that
Right.
if we learn to talk to AI in a way that's going to help us access more of our light and more of the information that's within us and our capabilities, then we will evolve faster. Well, and I don't mean the whole human race. I mean
Right.
each individual will start to we'll learn to levitate, we'll learn to control the weather, and we'll
Right.
mean, we'll start seeing a lot of more of these videos because there are a lot of these videos on TikTok and uh, YouTube, and so when we start to listen to people that are doing this and listen to AI and how to access this information,
Mm,
then we'll be able to do these things, and then what that will affect the field because I mean,
yeah.
if you're vibrating faster, if you're spinning faster, because everything spins, every chakra is a spinning wheel. If we learn
Yeah.
how to access that, but where we're at is most people are living here in the lower three, right?
Hmm.
They're not living in their center. Uh, and through a lot of like rites of passage and ceremonial practices, we're starting to access the upper three,
Mm,
or here, here, and here, and then there's the heart, right? Well, his
yeah.
throat, the point of the mouth, but here. So when we access these higher three, this is what's attached to the galactic and the celestial realms, or whatever we want to call them, right? But the
Yeah.
lower three are connected to our humanity, you know. And so for a lot of people, when we're telling when there's lies, violence, anger, frustration, sadness, depression, those energies they're spinning forward, but you're putting a backward motion into it with anger, sadness, frustration, all those things.
Yeah.
And
All that
so
stuff.
right, and so it creates a backwards flowing, and we can't access our center. We can't even.
Mm,
And that's why ceremonies are so important because a lot of people are learning to because it makes you submit. And I'm not going to talk too much on
right.
those other ceremonies, but that's why so many people are attracted to them because then they're able to clean this out, move this out of the way, so they can access their higher selves.
And it's a cleansing process too, right? I mean, we
Yes.
always have to take, I drink water, which is good to cleanse the body, but I also drink apple cider, which for some reason it works in, for me, it works in that way as something I do. But the water is definitely a cleansing of the body. We all have to, whatever way you do it, it's always good to cleanse the body and clear your energy. And to me, I love to like on the weekends we like to go out somewhere, and like this past weekend my wife and I in New England, it was like cloudy day. We went to the shoreline, Long Island Sound, and we walked on the beach, and I was picking up certain rocks and whatever. I took some rocks back with me, and I was looking at the water and the birds, and that is the most beautiful thing, to be on a quiet beach before the season starts, with everyone on the beach running around their kids.
Mhm.
This is the best time in New England to do that. But for me, and also my wife, just because of the vibrational frequencies, to be on a beach and look at the water and the waves coming in slowly on the sound, and just being at peace and harmony with the whole planet and the universe, it's more important to be and take time to do that for yourself, because during the rest of the week you're dealing with a bunch of crazy people. And it's true. Everyone knows what the crazy people are. If you're working and you have to get up in the morning, there's a certain frequency that you have to deal with. Now, I can deal with the frequency. I'm sure Eddie can too. Many of you probably can. But if people don't know how to break away from that, then they have problems and they need to be helped. But getting to a beach and getting to the water on a cloudy day, even if it's not sunny out, it was the most beautiful day. Overcast skies, looking over the Long Island Sound to Long Island, which is across the sound, and just looking and the birds and everything, and just the beauty of the water, being right next to the water and the little waves coming in. It's a beautiful way to clear your energy. Right on, right. Water is a very good healing and clearing thing. Whether you're drinking the water or hearing the sounds of the water coming in from the ocean or from a sound or whatever, it's a very peaceful feeling. And I think everybody needs now, especially now with all the crazy things in the world, take time for yourselves, folks, to go to, if you're near a lake, go to the lake, hang out there, and just relax. If you're near an ocean, go to the ocean. If you're near wherever there is water, go to it. It's really important to tune into the earth and then tune into the universe in which we're all part of.
Absolutely.
Really, really important. Any other things you would like to any other things coming up that we should know about? And he didn't want to say yet, but we are planning. It's been 3 years in the making. We're coming out with Commander going to one of these conferences and speaking on behalf of the Ashtar Command. And we've been kind of like tuning in our consciousness, probably in our dream state. But we are going to make this a reality, folks,
Yeah.
at some point.
And
Yeah.
also, I'm going to have you come out here to South Dakota. So right now, we have a duplex, and then we have the house that's right down the
Oh,
road.
okay.
We're setting this room, the room that I'm in right now, we're going to set this room up for the podcast.
Oh,
So,
good.
yeah, because I got the headphones, I got the microphones, I got the cameras, everything ready to go. So, have you come out and just talk like we're doing here, but
Yep.
we're going to do it, podcast style, and just sitting
Yeah.
across from each other, having the conversations. Maybe even
Yeah.
have
We'll be doing that.
you join us. We'll just talk, and we'll see where the conversation goes and how it flows.
Yeah. And Eddie and I have known each other. We became really good friends. He's not on all the time, but when he comes on, I pop him up here. And for those that don't know it, Eddie is working at some point in one of these big star conferences where they have people like Greg Braden. I'll be at some point invited to one of the conferences. I'll be speaking in front of people. Now, I don't have a book. I haven't written a book, but like I say, Eddie knows me enough to know that I don't need a book to talk about my knowledge that I know. And I'm not a shy person. Matter of fact, Eddie, I'm going to upstate New York to my cousins. They got tickets to Ancient Aliens, the TV program.
Nice.
So I'm planning to go up there. My audience knows this. I told my wife I'm going to do this. I'm going to stand up. We're going to be on the second tier of this beautiful auditorium place or whatever. And I plan on putting my hands up and going like this. And I'm going to see if they pay attention to that. And then what I'm going to do is first say, I've got it all figured out. I just want to say you got a beautiful TV program for many years. I've learned a lot from your program. But did you know that we're going to have contact in 2026? And did you know that I work with the Ashtar Command directly? I don't channel. Did you know that? And do you know that I'm also actually going to start and say, I just wanted to wave my hand and say I'm a TV talk show host on Encounters, the host of Encounters on TikTok. And I wanted to tell you that we're going to have contact in 2026. Did you guys know about that? Then I'm going to sit down quietly before I get thrown out. No, I'm not going to get thrown out, but I'm going to stand up. So I'm going to be doing this coming this weekend. I'll be up in New York at the Ancient Aliens gathering. And when they all get on stage, I'm planning this out that I'm going to stand up and wave my hands to get their attention. And I know that then people around me are going to be looking at me like thinking I'm crazy, but they don't know that I've got a plan of action. It's all good. It's all good. You'll hear about it.
Recognize you.
They might.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
And everybody here on this show, you're hearing it first here. Nobody else on TikTok knows what I'm going to do. I'm going to be doing this. I'm talking about busting the matrix, even with those beautiful souls up there talking and promoting their show, which is what they do. I've been to one of their things. They promote mostly the show and shows a little snippet here and there. I'm going to make it more exciting. I'm going to get up and say, I'm the host of Encounters, and I want to tell you I work with the beings called the Ashtar Command, and there's going to be contact in 2026. Did you know that? And I'll sit down and see what your reaction is.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's all I'm going to do.
Yeah, I think they were just in the Ancient Aliens. They're doing a tour right now, so they were in California.
Yeah,
maybe like a month ago. We had some friends out there. So, and what was I going to tell you? I was there. Do you know what the name of the guy is? The one that made he was a photographer, and he took a lot of photos and then made an actual photo book of all of the crafts, all the craft that he was able to capture on film.
I don't remember who that is. There was a gentleman many years ago before we had the internet who had he made back in the day when films were the only thing. We didn't have video. The guy made a film. He was in Florida. He documented spaceships that were, and he had video of them in color of these spaceships that had windows. They were big, and you knew that, and these ships were being operated by higher intelligence. And I wish I can find some of the old videos. I'm going to see if I can find them, maybe show it on here one night. But he sent me stuff back in the day that was like about his his information. This is back in the 70s, I think, or 80s maybe.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
back in the 70s, and there was like some from the like the 60s and stuff. Some like a lot of black and white photos.
yeah.
I have somebody that she's got all those books. So I'm because my one of my her husband um they're like mom and dad extra mom and dad to me, and he passed. So I'm gonna see if
Yeah.
I can get a hold of those books so I can have them here.
Oh, good. Good,
Yeah.
good, good. Well,
Oh,
Eddie, I want to thank you, brother. You've been great,
UFO.
you know?
Yeah. Well, thank you again. I mean, I it's always a pleasure to come on here and
Yeah,
talk with you. It's so much fun.
same here. And
Yeah.
Ed, any upcoming conferences, tell us when the big conferences are coming up that people should know about so they can support the
1010.
work you're doing.
Yeah. So 1010 here in South Dakota is going to be the next Star Knowledge Conference. So if you guys follow me, I'm going to be posting a videos really soon, and it's going to be the intro for the Star Knowledge podcast. It'll have it coming soon, and I have so much work ahead of me here. But
Hmm.
as soon as I can get this, because we just got back 4 days ago, so as soon as I can get this space looking beautiful and
Yeah.
get the camera set up and everything working exactly how I need to, then I'm gonna have
Yeah.
there's a lot of our chiefs out here that I want to come and have
Oh, good.
on the talks, and then have other ones drive out. We have a lot of people out here that are part of the Star Knowledge community. And I mean,
Oh, good.
whether you guys know it or not, there's thousands and thousands of people that have spoken or have been a part of Star Knowledge way before me. So I'm gonna do my best to get a lot of those people here, so we can talk and we can have them on, because I know you guys have watched a lot of stuff online, because the Gaia TV, they have a lot of those guys
Oh,
up
the
there.
guy, yeah.
But we know a lot more people that are, they're not big names, but they are very knowledgeable, and they're, the podcast is going to be about drawing parallels. It's not going to be about
Yeah.
one thing in particular. It's going to be about
Yeah.
just so we can start to evolve through the conversations and start to open our minds. So because there's a lot of people that are still very we call them seekers. We call it the seeker's path. And there's nothing wrong with being a seeker, because the whole understanding is that it's hide and seek anyway, because
Hide and seek.
we
I love that.
we came here with no knowledge of any of
Right.
our past experiences and past lives, or no life, but floating around the cosmos. We don't remember any of that. So, we're playing hide and seek with trying to, you know, get that back. That's
Hmm.
mostly what it's about. It's not even about
Hmm.
evolving. It's just about it's about remembering.
Yeah.
Nobody knows more than anybody else. It's all inside. We're just trying to find it.
And we all are, and we're all, and don't feel, I mean, I sometimes sense some people say, well, that person has more knowledge than I do, I don't know about this stuff. But that's the whole point. We share the knowledge that we learn with others. We don't keep the knowledge. There are people out there, though, that if they have an ego and they have the knowledge, that's not good. If they have an ego, if the ego overtakes the knowledge they have, then they're not sharing anything. That's not good for the well-being of anybody. If they're sharing their knowledge without ego, then that's for the well-being of all of you and all of us, me. We're all here together. No matter how much we know and do what we do, it doesn't make us any worse or better than the other person watching us. It's just that we're here doing what we need to do, utilizing different modalities of media to educate people. And that, this is our way, in different ways. Star Knowledge Podcast, Busting the Matrix, the Encounter Show here on TikTok, doing what we do. And we know that people will find us if they're seeking knowledge. They're going to find our show. They're going to find Eddie's podcast. If they're really seeking truth, they'll find it. You'll know if somebody is an imposter posing as somebody who is this light worker, or somebody who's posing to say they are this and that. And in fact, when you read their energy, it's just a cover, and they're not really what they say they are. And I know Eddie can do that. I know I read energy even before I got on TikTok. I can read a person's energy when I see going by them. I can read the energy. And if I get into a discussion or a discourse, I can tell whether they're operating in a frequency of light or they're not operating in the frequency of light. It's just that clear. And that's where the discernment comes in, you know. The word is discernment is so key to what we are doing here on earth is to be discerning. You know, I don't just follow anybody. I don't follow anybody, to tell you the truth. I don't even tell people to follow. You know, I want people to follow me on TikTok, technically speaking,
Yeah.
but in terms
But
of
you don't
human
follow the
following,
followers and
I don't follow anybody.
followers. I got all my followers on
I got all
TikTok.
my followers, you know, I
We're all
know.
family
But
here,
for the
man.
technical reason, just to get the numbers up, that is the technical aspect of following. But other than that, you know, I want people to be liberated. I always tell people I want to help you get liberated from this 3D world. If I can help you move you a little bit, you know, that's the best thing that can happen. If you can be liberated to the point where you're getting into your cosmic awakening, your consciousness, that's what I'm here for. I'm not here to have you, you know, follow me into the ocean and get wet on a cold day when it's freezing out. That's not my perspective of enlightenment. If you've watched me long enough, you'll see I'm different than other people because what I do here is I'm not here to have you become everybody sit down now, put the robes on, let us all now close our eyes. I will give you a big surprise right now. Look at me. You know, now there are people like that. I'm being a little comical here, but there over the decades there have been people that have done that that have messed up people, and it's
Don't do
sad to
it.
see that. I've seen that. You know, I've seen that in the documentaries over the years, and we don't do that. That's what we're here to do. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you guys know people that are here on TikTok doing it, just spread the word and say, you
Nope.
guys know they're bad news, but don't make a video about it. Just tell your
Don't
friends.
engage in it. Just go forward
Deal with it.
and go to
Yeah,
higher levels of consciousness. You know,
absolutely. Yeah.
and that's the thing. You know.
They're a distraction.
You know. I mean, right now, I'd love to have. I think I'm being shadow banned by TikTok, but I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I've always had a couple hundred people on here, and
It
you
says
know, it's
245.
unusual that. Yeah, yeah.
Usually like
Usually,
four.
I usually have more than that. I have 400, 500 on here, but I think something's going on with TikTok. But again, I'm not too concerned with it because, you know, as long as we have this many people here, we're reaching out to a community and everybody can share the show. I do videos here to promote the show. I also do clips. I'll probably do a clip of our broadcast here because TikTok has the thing where they have clips. I'll add a clip to a video so people see the interview. They might not watch the show. They'll get to see Eddie and I interacting. I do those things sometimes just to get people on TikTok to realize that we've been here for a long time and we're doing what we're doing, which is very much a UFO talk show that is spiritually inclined, and we're not talking about, oh, Ed, what about the bolt on the side of that craft that was a luminous craft? Do you have a screwdriver? We can take that thing off there. We can see what the inside is. Let's talk about the technical aspects of the screw that came from that spaceship landed in the desert. That's really
Mhm.
important. Who cares about who's on the ship? We want to know about the screw and the actual designing of the craft, right?
More distractions. Yeah.
We really do, and that's when we get together, you know. And like I said, when I eventually do speak at one of the star conferences, I will be pretty organized in terms of my consciousness. I don't need a script or any, you know, what a teleprompter or whatever. I'll be speaking impromptu about what I understand since growing up, and
Mhm.
that makes for a most interesting night. And hopefully, you know, about my experience, people will feel blessed to hear it, and I think they will. And that's what I like to do. I like to be able to interact with people. I'm a media person, so for me, that's always been my love is to use media, whether it's radio, this. That's my galactic level is to use the broadcasting mode. Hey Eddie, thank you, man, for being here. You know.
Thank you so much. And yeah, we'll keep in touch.
Yeah, absolutely. And follow Eddie, Star Knowledge Podcast. That'll be happening soon on most of these networks. And like Eddie just said, we'll be eventually coming out there and we'll be sitting next to each other. And hopefully bring some space people from the command to come off the ships and they'll come in. Now we're going to be in South Dakota. I think that's possible. Who knows?
It's beautiful over here too. So we'll have
Yeah.
a good time. All
Yeah.
right. Have a good
All right,
night, guys.
man. You too. I know you're busy getting it set up. I love that the colorful tapestry behind you. It's beautiful, man. That's
Yeah, there's a
cool.
couple. We're working on it. We're making this
You're
thing
very cool.
something else.
Very cool. All right, we're gonna bring Eddie down. Thank you, Eddie. Everybody, Eddie, our good friend of Star Knowledge, and we're gonna bring him down here. And Star Knowledge conferences are really big in the United States. A lot of well-known speakers go there. So Eddie and I have been working on this quietly for the last since we've known each other and become good friends. We'll be eventually speaking at one of those conferences, and I think maybe next year is when Contact's happening. So hopefully, what we'll do is he'll schedule me into the platform and the conferences, and I'll be going out there to speak. So we'll let you know when that's all set up, when I'm going to speak and do that. But the big thing is that when I go to New York to Ancient Aliens, the tour, I'm going to, and I've made the announcement here, and I'm making it again. I'm really going to do this. I'm going to get up now, whether I'm on TikTok doing it or whatever. I might have my cousins; they don't have TikTok, but we might do a mini broadcast if I can get away with using the camera on my phone. I don't know how that's going to work. We'll just record it. But I'm going to get up. I'm going to go like this. I want you to know, spread the word. I'm going to actually, in a beautiful way, hopefully not getting any problems with security, I'm going to get up there and say, hello out there. My name is Aleon. I'm host of Encounters. And I want you to know that in 2026, we're going to have contact with space people. And then I'm going to sit down. The whole audience is going to actually probably look up at the second balcony. And Jenny, it's all being recorded, Jenny, baby. Everyone's going to probably wonder who this person is in the middle of hundreds of people on the different balconies looking down at the stage area. So I'm going to mention, I'm going to just say, hello, my name is Alion. I'm from Encounters on TikTok, the #1 spiritual UFO talk show. By the way, do you know that we're having contact in 2026? It's going to be very short, not a big thing. And then I'm going to sit down. That's what I'm going to do. I am so psyched up for this, folks. There's nobody on TikTok here doing what I'm doing that's going to do what I'm doing. I don't care who they are. And you know that. I just don't care. I'm going to wear a shirt. I might wear my Ashtar Command shirt. I have an Ashtar Command shirt. I think I'm going to do that. I've been hearing about it. I have not watched it yet. I actually will get to that. Hello, child of light. Good to see you. So you're the only ones who are on here that are hearing what I'm going to do at Ancient Aliens. You're hearing it right here on my show. When my cousins got me tickets to go with them to see Ancient Aliens, and I've seen them in Connecticut, so I know the format. So I'm going to bust the matrix in their format because they basically spend about 2 hours roughly showing a little bit of stuff, and then they talk about Ancient Aliens, about the show. And they each get up and talk a little bit about each other. And frankly, I'm going to bust the matrix. Somebody has to do it. Oh, yeah. Send me a Star Knowledge t-shirt. Yeah. Message me, Eddie, message me, and I'll give you my address to send it to. Yeah. Extra large. Extra large. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Absolutely. Yeah, message you on that. Interesting, Molly. So who wants to come up here and join me here on Encounters? Come on up. Welcome all the new people. As you can see, this is a host that's very welcoming and very warm, and doesn't spend 2 hours talking about himself and not having any guests. I've seen some people on TikTok, they don't take any guests on their shows, on their programming or whatever, or their lives, and all they're doing is talking and talking and talking. And they look at comments, but they don't want to have anybody come up and interact with them. I don't know how you can live your life without interacting with some people. Thank you there, brother. I appreciate it. And let's see here. Let's see. Gabby. We're going to be Gabby up. You're watching Encounters. This show is going to be on my YouTube channel, Astro Command Spaceship News. Hey, Gabby, how are you?
Hi, Commander.
Can I bring you up on the camera? What's going on
I'm not
here?
decent. I'm not decent.
Oh, you're not decent? I don't want to get in trouble here, so we'll just listen to the audio, and when you're decent one night, we can bring you up when you're decent. But that's okay. Continue on. What would you like to share?
Thank you so much. I've only come up here one other time, but
I
I
know, I
just
know.
I had an experience. I haven't been watching the show for like about a week. I've had a lot of stuff going on. Even my meditations have gotten shorter. And I felt
Hmm.
myself a few days ago, a pull. Like I felt the pull of you're slacking again. You need to get back on track. I felt that pull. So I'm like, all right, I
Yeah,
need to get back on track. I fall asleep. I never take a nap. I fall asleep and I'm having a regular nonsensical dream. Okay. All of a sudden in the dream, I hear myself, but out loud,
yeah,
Gabby, you know this is a dream. This isn't real. And out of nowhere, my body starts vibrating. It was like, it was super hot, but not like turn on the AC hot. It was pure energy. And I get excited. I kind of freak out a little bit, but like from excitement. And a voice tells me, my voice tells me, you're safe. It's okay. I say, I'm a Christ conscious being of light. The minute I said that, my body took off. I was just pure energy. I took off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I raised my hands and mind you, I can't, there's nothing around. It's just black, but my body is going somewhere. I touch my face and I don't feel the skin on my hands. I just feel energy. I was just pure energy. Out of nowhere, I see the matrix code. I'm fully aware.
Yeah,
I'm fully aware. I see the matrix code, and what I heard next, it was my thought. It wasn't my voice out loud. I'm like, oh my God, this world really isn't real. Out of nowhere, an inward spiral starts flowing to me with codes I have never seen.
hmm,
And the voice tells me, my own voice, but coming from the outside, it says, it's okay. They're just downloading you.
yeah,
And out of nowhere, I just drop. At this point, I come out at the bottom like of a tunnel. Now I can see again. I see my physical body,
yeah.
and then it just turned into a dream. Again, a
Oh,
regular
wow.
nonsensical dream.
Yeah,
But I don't know if it was my higher self talking to me. Um, the only thought I had for myself was when I said, "Oh my God, this world really isn't real." When I saw the Matrix code, everything
yeah.
else, the voice was coming from outside of me.
Outside of you. So I'm getting that you're being contacted by two things. Well, we all have a higher self, which I call the cosmic self, but there's also the star beings that are introducing themselves and saying, "Here we are. We're going to do this crazy thing with you, and you're going to wake up to know that this is what's happening." So I think that you definitely had some interaction, even though you didn't see them. I think they were telepathically communicating with you while you were having the experience.
Yeah, because I was aware. I was fully conscious.
Yeah,
I knew the thoughts. That's why when my body started taking off, I said, "I am a Christ conscious being
yeah,
of light." I
yep,
said it like when I first snapped out, and I'm telling you, the voice told me, "Come on, Gabby, you know this is a dream. This isn't
right.
real." It's like it was giving me the opportunity, like, here's your chance to enter a different
Right.
consciousness.
It's saying it's giving you the chance to jump out of this reality, which is the world we live in, to knowing what the real reality is. And so you did. You jumped into that other reality, and then listening to her story as everyone's watching this, she's telling you that she then came back into her physical self, into this world, and came back. How many minutes was that when that happened? How long was that lasting for?
Well, I only fell asleep for about maybe 45 minutes. So the
45
thing was, like
minutes.
I said, I was having a regular nonsensical dream. In that dream,
Yeah.
the voice told me, Come on, Gabby, you know better than this. Like, it's a dream." That was, I don't even know how long it lasted. Probably like maybe 5 minutes, and then I went back into a nonsensical dream. I was
Yeah.
fully aware in the middle of my sleep, like full awareness,
Yeah. Oh, I believe
and
you.
then the spiral code that came towards me, and the voice said, "It's okay. They're downloading you."
Yeah. The spiral voice that said they are downloading you. So that is a key thing, Gabby. When it's saying they are downloading you, listen to this, everybody. She heard the voice say they are downloading you. They are the star people that you're connected with. They are downloading you with information. Whoever
Hmm.
they are, they're your star family. Now, whether you know who they are yet, you have the capability just by your story, you can actually connect to those star beings tonight. Did you know
Yes,
that?
I would like to, because the code that they gave me, I don't know what to make of it. Obviously, my subconscious knows, my higher self knows, but I'm having issues decoding.
Well, let me put it this way. You know how I read energy when interviews.
Hmm.
As I read your story and everyone's listening to her story tonight, here's what you need to do to make the contact. I'm just going to give it to you. Before you go to sleep, go into a meditative state for maybe 20 minutes. Thank you, Blessed Mom, for like maybe 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. I want you to focus on remembering exactly what happened. Well, you do remember what happened. You're sharing it right here
Hmm.
on the show. You can make contact directly with the star family that you're connected with by doing the meditation. Then I want you to focus before you go into your dream state, or in what I call the cosmic dream, which is a reality. You'll use the dream state to connect with your star family tonight. So you're going to
Okay.
say things like, I am, you're going to say to your star family, thank you for the information that you've given me. I am a Christed cosmic being of light here living on earth on mission. I want to connect with you as Christed beings of light who gave me this information the other night. I wish to now know who you are. You can ask their names. I wish to go to where you are and connect with you. So you do that tonight, and you can put it in your own words. But I do believe you'll have it's going to be the beginning of contact for you. You're going to have a physical contact. The dream state is going to be the bridging state. The dream state could be not a it's not really a dream because you're having a cosmic dream. I use the word cosmic dream. You're actually having a interaction with a galactic reality that really does exist for you, and you have the ability to make it happen. You completely do.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of meditated on it a little bit, and the fact that I think they showed me the matrix code for one reason. I've been falling
Hmm.
back into 3D world things because I've had so many things going on. So I felt that they needed to show me, like, as in the best way they could possibly do at the moment for me to understand. And that's kind of what I came up with. They needed to show me that, like, don't get pulled back
Yeah.
into the 3D. You've been doing good, so I
Now
kind of think that that's
the
what it
codes
is.
that they've been showing you also take time to meditate and decode the codes that they're showing you. I
Hmm.
believe they're showing them to you because you have the ability to decode what translate the message of the code. So take time with that. It's not going to be a rush situation. Take
Right.
time on focusing on those codes that they've given you, and allow yourself to take time to keep a journal of notes as to when you start decoding the codes. They'll help you with that, but you're going to be the one decoding them.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll do that.
absolutely.
I had to share it. I shared it with my mom, and she's looking at me like I'm crazy. There's
That's all
nobody
right.
I can really talk to. And I'm like, I have to put this out there because I was just so excited. And like I said, I was fully aware. I was fully conscious. I
Yeah,
knew every thought, every process. I was there.
yeah.
It wasn't a dream.
No, not at all. You see, and you're not crazy. And the fact you came on here, everyone has just heard what happened to you, and people can relate to that. I think most of my audience around the world can relate to what you're saying. Any last things you want to say, or
No,
I can?
Commander, that's all. Thank you. Thank you
Well,
for all you do.
well, well. Thank you. I couldn't do it without you and everybody else here. Without your not without your information, your experiences, I would just be talking for 2 hours. So I appreciate that.
Thank you, Commander. Thank you so
All right,
much. You
Gabby,
have
we're
a
going
good
to bring
night.
you down. You
Okay.
too as well. Let's see who's in queue here. And let me see, Jerry, we'll bring Jerry up. And again, you have to be over 18. No foul language on the show. No drinking. No drunks. No politics. No religion. No paranormal discussion. And Jerry, welcome to Encounters.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
good, and you?
Good, good. And where are you located? And what would you like to share on Encounters tonight?
Colorado?
Colorado, great. We have a lot of viewers in Colorado. And so, what area of the cosmic discussion do you want to share with our audience?
I was just wondering, when I was about 8 or 9, I used to have these dreams. I don't know if they were dreams or what they were, but the closet door where I used to sleep would open up, and I would go down and stay the old, uh, you know the old. There used to be a guy there, and he'd open the old carriage, with the horses, and open it up.
Okay.
I'd go in it, and from there, I would forget what would happen, but it was more than one incident. And then, throughout my years, when I got older, I'd have dreams where I could fly and see things, you know, past my
Mm-hmm.
room, and I don't know what that was.
Mm-hmm. So you what we call that an outer body experience when you can fly over a room, or you like when I was a kid, I would have the ability to fly over my neighborhood in the cul-de-sac. I'd see a blue sky and I'd be flying just above the neighborhood, and I'd wake up and I had multiple times when I was a kid when I'd fly over the neighborhood. I didn't understand any of that, when I was a kid. Now I do. I do understand that. So that's pretty wild. So the latter years, when you say you were flying out of your body, you were flying. Were you above the room, out of your body, astrally out of your physical body?
I I was I was asleep. I thought I was
You were
asleep.
asleep.
Uh, I would I would be out of my room going to other places and seeing stuff.
Hmm.
And frankly, I can't really remember because I was younger what I was seeing, but I could see in other houses and stuff.
Hmm.
And 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 then I had a dream of Jesus and the devil fighting, and I don't know. I
Yeah.
had dreams.
Yeah, we don't get into too much of any of the paranormal stuff as you
I'm
get to
sorry
get
about
used to the show. Mostly, we talk about galactic enlightenment, UFO related stuff, or spaceships coming to Earth. Just so you know, just so you have more of a background. But I would say on the astral part of it, it's not uncommon when you're sleeping. That's when you go out of your body. So when you're sleeping, you can leave your body and travel beyond your house. Your higher self can travel wherever it wants. It could be even traveling off planet. And you might slightly remember those things when you wake up. You might not, but so yeah, you
When
never
I was
know.
younger, though, it was more than one incident when I would go and go into the carriage, and the guy would open the door. And as far as I remember, I can't remember what happened after that.
Yeah, so that's interesting. Now that's hard to say what that situation was about. You go through a door, it's open, and then you did you physically were you physically awake going through the door?
Um, I don't remember. I was
You
young.
don't remember. You were young. You don't remember.
Well,
Um,
I
hmm,
was like 7 or 8
hmm,
when it was
yeah.
happening. It was more than once. It was frequently. uh,
You
so
could have been having and you had missing time, correct? You don't remember anything.
yeah, I remember those. I remember that
Well, you
part.
remember that, but did you have like when you went through the door? Did you remember anything past the door?
Yeah, I remember the guy opening the door and me getting in, and he's shutting it, and then going somewhere, but I don't know where.
That's where the miss. So when you were going somewhere, that's where I'm saying. At that point, did you blank out or have missing time?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had missing time because you were going off planet. The door he opened took you off planet. You had missing time as a
Yes.
kid. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. See, I have the ability to read energy about a story, and I can at least tell you had missing time. He opened the door, which was normal, like a human door, and then when you went through the human door, you were not there on Earth anymore. You were taken somewhere, and I bet you if you had hypnotic regression by the right person, they would probably find out where you went.
Yeah. The problem with that is that I've always been a problem child since then,
A
and
problem child.
you know, as I got older, I've been, you know, you know, n- not really normal, and
Okay.
so I don't know what it is that caused it.
Well, when you say I don't want to get too into that, but I don't think there's anybody on earth that is, well, I don't think any one of us is quote unquote necessarily normal in whatever the 3D word of normal means. But I think that I know if you're new to the show, you're going to learn a lot and you'll feel very at home here. So as you, Jerry, listen to the show, watch the
I've
show, I'm
been
glad you came
watching.
up here. Say
I've
again?
been I've been watching you for a while, and
Oh, you have?
the things that you've been doing. I just didn't know if I had implants or anything in me, and that's what I was asking.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you do or not. One night, maybe what we'll do, Jerry, is we'll scan you for implants, and I can do that. I think this is a good way to get to know you a little bit. But I think one night when I'm doing implant removals, I'm gonna matter of fact, there's going to be a video I'm going to make, and I'm going to do part of a night. I'm going to put it on TikTok where I will do implant removals, or at least scan you as well as other people, because that can take up half a show. When people come up, they want to have implant removals. I can have tons of people that have been abducted or something like that. But we'll do something like that, Jerry. I'm glad you've been watching me for a while. And yeah, well, when I am one night when I'm doing it, come up in the queue when I'm really focused on doing the implant removals, and we'll scan you and see if you have any implants.
Yeah, I see you get pretty wear out when you do that.
It depends. Some nights I don't. Some nights I'm like, it takes a lot to do implant removals. It especially if I have 3 or 4 people, one after the other with implant removals. I'm not always tired out, but at some point I'm like, I've got to stop and take a break from this. But
Oh yeah.
it takes a lot of work.
Yeah. Well, I thank you for talking with me.
Oh, I appreciate you, and you're a blessing, man. I appreciate you coming up here.
I don't know how to get down.
No, I'll bring you down. No, let me do that here. Hold on a minute.
All right, thank you.
Okay, Jerry. Everybody, Jerry, thank you so much. And we'll do something with him on another night. We'll definitely do it. Ivy, we're bringing Ivy up on encounters. If I can bring people on camera, please let me know if you're decent. Hey, Ivy, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Good evening. We're doing well. Can I bring you on camera?
Um, I just washed my face. I have rosacea and cystic acne, but I'm fine. Yeah, sure.
Okay, that's
How do
good.
you do that? Because I don't, let me
I
see.
just pressed the button, press save on your TikTok thing.
Oh,
You
there.
just press the button. There it is. You'll see it.
Hello,
See.
everyone.
And good to have you
So
with us, Ivy. And where are you located, by the way, on the planet?
I am in Wayne, New Jersey.
Oh, New Jersey. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, glad
Wayne.
to meet you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just finished talking to my mom and all that stuff. I was doing some stuff for her. She's not actually here with me, but I was doing FaceTime with her.
Yeah.
And I hopped in here and came across you, and I did had an experience back in the year 2000. I was pregnant from my daughter, 6 months pregnant, and she's 24 now. She's special need, but she's great. And I had an experience with my ex-partner at that time. I just first moved in when my mom and my parents used to live. This happened in Patterson, New Jersey, in River Street.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
664 River Street. Right now, that's a restaurant right now, but it used to be a thrift store for furniture, and then it became my apartment.
Hmm.
So the year 2000 came, I went and lived in there for the first time in an apartment. and I don't know what happened. I was unloading stuff from the boxes, and I felt something weird happen where all my hairs on my arms and my back of my neck stood up, and something was telling me, you're not alone. And I was like questioning myself, like, what's going on? Am I too tired? So I don't know. I just felt like something was going on. And prior to that, my dad had shown me his hand. He told me the back room that you're going to prepare for your 1-year-old daughter, it's the window had to remove it, so I put plywood, but from the outside, until in 5 days from now, he told me I'm gonna get a window from Home Depot.
Right.
And I'm gonna show you. He showed me his hand. I remember everything vividly. He showed me a big, long, maybe 4.5 to 5 inch, screw. It was so big. It was from his middle finger all the way to the wrist.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he told me I bought it very big. I'm gonna put all of them all around. So he told me, if you hear something squeaking, that's what it is. Go from the front door, because there's a side door to the hallway, which
Right.
it's 2 buildings that looks identical. And my parents used to live in the 3rd floor in the other building on the side, but it's just, right next to each other. So he was the super. And he also told me I also gonna repair the sink leak, tap of the water, whatever you hear. And I'm like, okay, no problem. Thank you, Dad. So I was home alone, and it was the father of my daughters worked 2nd shift in a paper company, and I was home alone, and it was nighttime. I was unpacking still, and I felt this weird thing that my hair stood up, and my body was acknowledging that I'm not home alone. I don't know. I just felt something was wrong. I never heard anything. So the thing that started why I felt, when I felt the chills and all that stuff, I started thinking of my surroundings, thinking about myself first, what was going on with me, and then I started analyzing. Sorry, I have GERD. My surroundings. That's when I realized. I say, wait a minute, I don't hear the clock that I just put a little battery on the wall in the kitchen. I don't hear it no more. And I said, okay, maybe the battery was so cheap or something, like it drained or something.
Yeah.
So then I said, wait a minute, what happened to the noise of the sink of the water tapping?
Right.
That's when I said, okay, that's an element. You can't stop that. And then in my head, I thought maybe my dad walked inside and put a sock on it, or I have no idea. So I peeked quickly, because I was in a middle room, small room. I peeked like that, and I'm like, I don't see nothing on it. Nobody was here.
Right.
Like, okay, what's going on? And then I started saying, okay, maybe somebody shut the water off. Now, when the engine of the refrigerator, I couldn't hear it.
Right.
That's when I said, wait a minute, the lights are on. Maybe, and in my head, I'm like, thinking like a human. Maybe the brake box came in on that. And then I said, no, because the light is on in the kitchen. So that's when I realized, and I said, okay, this is abnormal. My father had given me a furniture TV that goes on the ground. I don't know if you remember those.
I think I do. There was a TV made out of wood or something.
Right, yeah. It looks like
a furniture TV.
Very
cool, I remember those.
Right? Big too and heavy. So it was.
Yeah, heavy.
That TV was it was next to my bed. So it was just my bed, that TV, and a little crib for 1-year-old in the same little room until that window was repaired. So when, I don't know why, I then had a feeling that something was in my kitchen, because the door for the kitchen, for that room to the kitchen, looks up that way, and I had a crack. You could see through the crack.
Okay.
It was open, I guess, and you could see through the crack. And that's when I tried to look. I felt this weird, I don't know, like my hair stood up more and
You,
more.
you, you felt like a weird energy that.
Yes,
So I think you're
I
saying that there was something there that wasn't, like something was cloaked and not showing itself to you.
yes. So that's what I thought. I said, okay, that there's definitely something there, and I knew it wasn't. I don't know for what reason, but I knew it wasn't human because the energy around surrounding. I cannot explain it. It's just an awareness that I had,
Hmm.
that something told me it's what's there is not human, so prepare yourself. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm talking to you about this and I'm shaking, literally. This is
And
dangerous.
your higher consciousness is telling you, your higher self is saying to you internally, it's not human, prepare yourself. It's your higher self is communicating to your human intelligence and saying, human intelligence, I'm telling her this is not, this is something other than, there's something going on here, you know?
Right. And that's when I noticed this is beyond me, and I wasn't dealing with just burglary or something like that, god forbid.
Right.
But the fact that I did not hear anything, and then the surrounding noises completely were gone, and that's when I realized about the refrigerator. I'm telling you step by step, like how my mind like was working there, and I'm like, okay. So then I said, what about the cars in the front? I mean, I'm in the
Right.
middle room, there's another front room that's bigger, and then there's the door to go outside. And I say, what about, I've been living in there since I was like maybe 14 years old, so I
Yeah.
was 20 something years old when I was there. So I'm like, what's going on? I know my surroundings here, plus there's a train that passes right in front of it.
Right.
That's when I realized, and I said, oh my god, oh my god. I felt this energy of, you better prepare yourself because what's there is not good. So
Oh,
when I
okay.
was trying to peek, like you said, it's like cloaking. It's like moving away from the crack of the door, because I saw it. I couldn't see the whole thing. It was like
Hmm.
I mostly saw like the head shoulder kind of thing, and it moved
Yeah.
so quickly. It moved
Move quickly.
so quickly, and that's when I realized. And I said to myself, okay, this thing knows what I'm thinking
Hmm.
5 or 10 seconds before I'm thinking. So then I said to myself, I'm going to sing. I stood up in front of, this is so crazy, I'm gonna tell you. I don't know how other people would have reacted to this, but this is what I did.
Right.
I was pregnant.
Right.
So part of my hormones are there, but that was
Oh
my
my gosh.
mechanism.
Yeah.
It's like I leaned, I sat down on the ground, on
Yeah.
the rug, and
Hmm.
I was looking at the TV, and the TV was
Right.
off. So it's kind of grayish, but you still could see reflection behind you.
Okay.
So something told me, okay, I'm gonna look, I'm gonna look, I'm gonna look. And I looked at the TV, and this thing, the crack is behind me. Not too close to my back, but I'm gonna say 2.5 to 3 feet away from my back.
Oh wow. Okay. Wow.
So, you know, and I'm telling you this, and I'm like shaking, because I still can't believe what happened to me and the father of my daughters. But when I looked in the mirror, in the reflection on the TV,
Yeah.
it will look and it will quickly go like that. And I'm like, oh my God. When I saw, like, I remember the imprint in my head. Like, I
Yeah.
saw, I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. And then I said, okay, it's gonna move. Might as well start singing. That's when I started
Yeah.
singing. And the only thing I could think about, because my nerves were going crazy at that
Hmm.
second,
Oh
it was
wow.
saying twinkle, 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 little star over
Star.
and over, because I couldn't remember nothing else. I
Right.
was just like trying to focus on making my brain busy for it, because I knew telepathically it knew my thinking.
It was It was able to read your consciousness.
Yes, and I knew that, and he knew that I
Hmm.
knew. It was so that thing knew that I knew. It was so crazy how I knew he knew. And but then what I thought was so spontaneous, to the point that I'm like, okay, it's twinkle twinkle little star. And when I kept saying twinkle twinkle little star, I think I said twinkle twinkle little star 3 times, and that's when it
Yes.
showed completely on the side, and one foot took in the, like, the whole body was right there, apparition in the crack, but I could
So
still see the whole
the
thing.
body. So tell our audience, this is amazing, folks. You're watching Encounters. Ivy's our guest in New Jersey, and you got great detail what's happening here. Can you tell us what the
I
being
barely
looked like?
said anything to people. This is like when I started watching Missing 411 about David Politis and stuff, and I'm like, you know what? I'm learning. The more I watch it, the more I learn, the more
Hmm.
I thought of things. So yeah, this is completely, I'm gonna say more than 1,000% real, because
Right.
there's no, I wouldn't even fabricate anything like this. I
I
wished
believe
in
you.
my
I believe
heart,
you.
in my soul, that
Yeah.
I never saw and experienced what I saw, or
Hmm.
anyone in this world, because it was so nerve wracking. Because what about to happen after this?
Hmm.
Oh, okay, calm down.
You'll be okay. You're okay.
Oh no, you have no idea what keeps happening.
Well,
Things are
you're with the commander, so
okay.
you're okay.
So sorry, I'm anxiety. Okay, so when I saw it, my reaction was to get up out of the ground quickly, turn around, look at the door, and slam it so hard. I'm very heavy-handed. I'm not gonna lie. I slammed that door so hard that it almost made it to the other side, to the kitchen. That's how hard I hit it. And when I hit it and it closed, I quickly went like that to the lock, because I knew the lock is metal and is a conductor.
Hmm. Oh
So I
wow.
said, oh my gosh. I remember screaming so loud and saying, oh my God, like, and do that.
Right.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
I stayed in that room. I locked the other room.
Right. Like the other room.
I basically locked myself in that small room. The
Now,
closet.
was the space being of some sort was in the same house apartment, right? The being
Yes.
was physically. So get this, folks. This Ivy's talking about that she's leading up to it, and she's giving great
My hairs are
detail.
standing
There
up.
was there was there was a being, and that was in her room, and you can just look at her face as she tells the story. She clearly remembers what happened here, and it is an amazing true story. The thing is, what can you explain what that being looked like?
I
Did you see
will.
it? Okay.
Just by talking about it, my hairs, like, look at my arm, how I grab myself. I am not
Yeah.
joking.
Yeah. No, I believe you.
Okay. I believe it, whoever is fine
And
too,
everybody,
because
give her
like I
time.
said, I
She's
don't wish
getting to
this
the
on no
story.
one, because once you
Relax. Be
have that
patient.
encounter,
Yeah.
sorry. Okay, so when I saw this entity, because I'm gonna call it entity or
Okay.
some kind
Yeah.
of, the skin was so pale that even if I looked throughout when it happened till now, I'm 46. This happened when Kimberly's 24. This happened 24 years ago.
24 years
Or
ago.
yeah, or about. I was
Mm-hmm.
6 months pregnant, so about 24 years ago. This
24
happened
years
in the year
ago.
2000. Uh, I saw a very the what I'm trying to say is that I tried to completely look around me to look for the color. You you just cannot describe the color, but I'm gonna like, you cannot describe it to someone else and say,
Right.
hey, that's the color. I could say
That's the
something
color.
similar, but it's not
Yeah.
quite. It was
Yeah.
so pale.
It was very pale. How tall was the being?
I believe it was, when I stood up, it was like 4 feet and a half to 3 feet and a half.
And
I'm
did
gonna
it?
say 3 feet and a half.
Yeah. Did it have like Ivy? Did the
The
being have like
eyes
a
were completely black and
black,
huge.
huge? And did it have like a slit for a mouth and a flat, like what we call a nose?
Yes, the nose was not pronounced out like we are with like
Right. Right.
humans, but it was so kind of like inward, and it had little slit sideways, like downward, kind of
Right. Right.
slit. Yeah, and it had some kind of like lines in here, maybe three,
Yeah.
two.
Yeah. Those are
The
zeta.
mouth was
That's a
so
zeta.
small. The mouth
Those are
was,
the. I'm just gonna say. I want you to continue. I just let you know for people who are hearing our story. Those are
Yeah,
called,
Grace.
that's a zeta reticuli. It's a zeta beam from the zeta star system.
Yeah, Alan, that's a good, definitely for sure, hands down, Grace. I am aware of that. I was too young at that time to understand many things, but then I knew what that was because when I
Mhm.
saw it, you know, a lot of people talk about it, and I'm like, you know, but I
Yeah.
swear on everything I know, the eyes were so shiny and
Mhm.
dark. It was so like a hollow dark. It was so
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
unreal.
Wow.
The skin, I could say that the skin was in between a very fainted gray and beige.
Hmm. Did you over the years you have such a vivid memory of what the being looked like? Have you ever thought of drawing out a drawing or a picture,
I
creating a
have
drawing?
drawn it.
You have.
I'm gonna probably say maybe a couple of times to maybe my daughter when she got
Mhm.
older.
Do you still have the drawings?
No, I do not.
Oh,
I'm
that's a
gonna be
bummer.
honest. I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
This is something that telepathically I was told by those beings, especially the one that touched me, because after this happened, I just want to finish the interaction.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna call it. I mean, I'm talking about the encounter, but the contact is the part that really is so scary because that when I locked myself in that room, that room was a, I'm gonna say the size of that room was probably a 9 by I can't even, it was more like a rectangle.
Rectangular room.
Yeah,
Okay.
rectangular. So it was probably a 9 by 11, maybe. No, I don't know. I can be. This room, my room is bigger than that. It was
Hmm.
small. But what happened was I locked myself in there. I honestly, I'm aware I'm pregnant. I'm aware I'm supposed to be drinking water and eating, you know, maybe something, a snack. My goodness, I was there for 4 hours and 20 minutes. I
Wow.
couldn't get out to drink anything. I
Now,
was like,
did the being ever did the being ever decide to did they leave your house? Did the Zeta
ah,
being
no, I knew that too. It was crazy. Okay, so when I locked myself in there and all those hours passed, the father of my daughters eventually came. And he came through the hallway, which is very scary. I don't know why he didn't come through the front, but whatever. He came through
Mhm.
the hallway, have to go through the garbage containers, and then he made a right, which is the door for the side.
Right?
I remember hearing the door opening, and I said, "That's him," because this is around the time I guess. I had like a watch in my wrist, and
Right.
I'm like, "This is the time he comes." I was so scared, and he started knocking. He's like, "Hello, are you gonna open the door? It's me." And I'm like, "I have to ask you a couple of questions because I
Right.
don't trust who you are."
Right. You don't know if it's a Zeta or whether it's your father.
I didn't know. I knew that the person that was behind the door was talking to me in the voice of the father of my daughters, because he came from work, second shift.
And
I don't recall exactly the time he came. I'm gonna say between 2 in the morning till 4 in the morning, around that
right.
time. Um, I asked them. I said, "I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions, and you have to tell me these questions because only you and I know these questions." So I asked
Mhm.
him questions about his social. I know it sounds crazy to people what I'm saying, but at that point, I after what I saw, I don't trust anything,
Right.
especially in the same area he's coming from. So I'm like, "Do you see anything?" Like, I asked him a lot of questions, maybe 4 questions or
Right.
five. Eventually, I was satisfied with his answers, and I opened the door.
And
I
was it
didn't even
your
want to be close to him. I was
right?
so petrified.
Right.
He's like, "You okay?" I'm like, I told him, "You need to please close the door. Did you close the front door?" He's like, "Of course." And I'm like, "Sit down." And when I told him everything I just told you guys, and he's like, "Oh my gosh." Well, then he decided to say, "I'm gonna check," and I'm like, "Don't go over there. Don't go over
He
there."
was going to go over where the Zeta being was, correct?
He was going towards the window that my father put the plywood, which is in the back room.
Okay.
He's like, let me check that window. And I'm like, don't go, don't go. I just panicked. I'm like, don't go, please
Hmm.
don't go. And he's like, calm down. Oh my God, hold on. I have to check. When he turned the light on in that room,
Yeah.
oh my God, my hairs are standing up in my head and my shoulder. Oh my God. When I was so afraid to even go, but when I saw him go, he's like, there's nothing in here. You could come. It's fine. It's safe. But there's something weird. The plywood on the when you're looking out the window from the inside, the plywood on the right side on the bottom was prone open. Like, I'm gonna say that a small child, maybe of a 4-year-old, could crawl through there.
Really? Oh my God.
I could see the outside and it's dark. And he's like, I don't know what the hell. You didn't hear nothing? I was like, no. And to be honest, everything stopped. All the noise completely stopped. I thought I was going crazy. And
Now
then
that's
all my
weird.
hair
All the
stood
no
up and and
so
that's when I told him, guess what? Get out of here. I have a feeling this thing is still here.
wow. So when all the noise stopped, that's weird. So like the normal noise you would have, let's say if there's traffic or people going by, you didn't hear anything. Noise,
There
everything
was
was
no
complete
noise.
silence. Just complete.
Completely dead. It was
That is.
completely dead silent to the point you think your ears are clogged and you're like, what's
Mhm.
going on? Am I dying? What's wrong
Right.
with me? That's the kind of no I'm talking about, completely no noise, like you're
Wow.
deaf.
Wow, folks. This is an, I've never heard a story like this. This is an incredible, real story that Ivy's sharing here and coming forward with, which I think is very important. That's why we do what we do here. And look at her face. You can see you're reliving those
Yeah,
moments right now,
because
aren't
it's
you?
still happening, weird stuff I hear and there, and I'm aware. Anyway,
Now,
so
so you say weird stuff is still happening. Now, this is interesting. So this has happened this happened a lot of years ago. You have a great memory of it. And when you say things are still happening, are those Zeta beings still coming to you?
I believe they are, because there's a lot of things, and they love to use when you are falling on your first stage of sleep, or when they make it believe like it's a dream, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a
Yeah.
dream. I'm not stupid. I am aware of my subconscious. I'm completely
Yeah.
aware of what's going on, and I don't know, like my third eye is completely
Yeah.
like, you cannot manipulate my third eye. You can manipulate whatever, you just can't do
Came
it.
in to believe.
It's
Yeah. Well,
so
I mean,
awake
I
and
can see it. I see it in your expression. If anyone's watching the show, or if you're coming by TikTok scanning, you need to sit here and relax and watch encounters, because all my guests, including Ivy, tell real stories here, and it's really important. This we learn from each other. So I think, can you? I
Alan, I
feel
think
that.
I do have implants. I do,
Yeah.
but no, Alan is
I
saying
think.
in the comments that I should be checked for implants, and I believe that very strongly.
Yeah.
But there's so much going on. But the thing, let me finish
Yeah.
I'm about to
Yeah.
finish
Continue
this
on.
whole
Yeah.
thing,
This,
and this is, hopefully you guys could sit down, because this is the part that is the most
okay.
scariest of all. Pardon my,
Okay.
like my accent.
Yeah. Absolutely. Go
Um,
ahead.
my goodness. Okay, so the father says, "Calm down." That's when I tell him, "Come back." He turned off the light in that bedroom, and he's like, "We cannot leave that like that." But I'm refusing. He said, "I'm refusing to go at nighttime in the back. It's very dangerous." So, because it's like a concrete patio kind of thing, where anyway. So he then locked that door. He's like, if I have to break the door or have your father fix it, but I'm gonna completely lock it. But and I'm like, yeah, but you could lock it, but somebody could still unlock it from
You
the
can
inside.
lock it, but the space being can still come through and get in the
We're
house
not
any way he
thinking
wants.
at that moment. We're not thinking of anything but just lock the door, and we are not thinking right. To be honest, is and I'm telling him right there, right there. I don't know why. I just didn't want to be in that area. After I saw
Right.
what I saw, I just quickly started running towards the room. I felt safe, and I told him, I'm sorry, my my nerves are really going.
It's okay.
I told him, I don't want to be here. I don't feel safe. I don't know where to go, but I would go as far as being in the car until the sun comes out. Like, that's how scared I didn't want to be there. But he's like, I worked a second shift. You're pregnant. You're tired. You need your sleep, and you can't be in a car sitting down. And I understand that, but I was afraid. Like, what else can I say? So eventually the bed was a full-size bed. I remember it vividly. It was like a green headboard, those metal, beautiful green with gold and porcelain flowers on the edge, whatever it is,
Yeah.
the headboard. I don't remember the headboard if it was there.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was, because it was like a two-piece, but
Yeah.
goodness. Okay, so for him to make me comfortable, he says, I'm going to put a chair under the door and I'm going to lock the door that we're
Lock
going
the
to
door.
be sleeping on, which is the same room
Mm-hmm.
the middle room, which is to me the living room, but we made it
Right.
into our bedroom for the meantime. He also locked the other door and he also put a chair there. There's a closet that is so small. There's no sliding door. There's no doors of any kind.
Right.
There's no curtain. It's just open closet. I did not like that closet. Just the fact to have that
The
open
closet.
cavity,
Yeah.
to me was kind of unsettling. But
Wow.
yeah, the crib was next to it, so because that's the only space we had at that time. So my 1-year-old daughter's there, Brenda Lee's, and the father says, I'm gonna be sleeping towards her. And I wanted it to sleep towards the window, looking at the window.
Yeah.
I went to sleep, to try to sleep, and the sleep won, obviously. I was on my first stage, and this is where it gets crazy. When I fall on my first stage of sleep, that's when I heard no noise again. That's when I
Okay.
decided to open my eyes quickly. When I tried to open my eyes as quick and move as fast, because I
Yeah.
knew they were there in the room. Lord have mercy. Oh my God. This thing was standing in my headboard, in the headboard. And I'm going to show you. This is not the bed, obviously.
Right.
In
Right.
the
Right.
headboard, it was standing like it used to be, like a place you could walk through here, and then the window was that way.
Right.
That thing was standing right here.
At
Like,
the
just
headboard.
picture a little walk area. And it
Oh
was
my
standing
God.
right, looking down at me from the
Oh
headboard.
my God.
And
And
what I saw was that it quickly, I don't know how, it was like so surreal. It was like he was fighting with me, and I'm like, I was like, I remember hearing myself trying, and then all of a sudden I subsidized and I couldn't move no more. And I started sinking in myself. I felt this darkness sinking, like a darkness, like I was going away from myself. I'm like, what the,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
my God, I'm dying. What is that? And that thing, when it shut me down in my body and it paralyzed me, my left eye stayed open halfway, just like this, and everything
Really.
was closed. It was just me, my little halfway open eye, and that's when I saw what he was doing. So I took this weird looking syringe that was made out of steel, like
Right. Right.
silver,
Yeah.
and it had a circle, and he had 4 fingers only,
4 fingers.
not 5. He had 4 fingers only.
Oh
And
wow.
in the middle finger, he was holding the circle and the syringe, and he was extracting DNA from my third eye.
So the Zeta was extracting stuff with a tool in the middle of your forehead, correct?
Yep. And that's when I remember saying the twinkle, twinkle, little star to distract it. That's when I started praying. When I started praying, I kept praying, and that's when that thing glided away. It did not walk. It glided around my head, my footboard area, and it left
It
through the
glided.
door. And it was
And then
not
when
one. It was more than one.
I knew it from the beginning, there had to be more than one Zeta. How many Zetas were in your room?
I remember that I was this way when that happened, and when I moved, I landed in my back, so
Mm-hmm.
my half eye was open, and I could see, I think, an 180 degree.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw the one that was touching me, and I saw another one that was doing something to my ex in the back of his neck.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned that there's something in the back of the neck of people. I forgot the name, some kind of, I forgot
Right.
what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I came back to myself, because I was awake during the whole thing. When I came back to myself, I remember my voice, and I'm gonna mimic exactly the voice that happened when I
Mm-hmm.
came back and my voice came back. It's like
Mm-hmm.
I was mummified and I came back to life. It was like like that. I was like, oh my God, what is, like it's just very, it was intensified. And then I started screaming. When I started screaming and I could move, I didn't want to be in my bed. I just stood up in the corner and was like, oh my God, what the
Really?
hell?
Yeah.
I had a
Yeah.
mirror. I
Mm-hmm.
had a mirror on the wall, just a mirror on the wall looking towards the bed. Right there. It was a small mirror, and I went running to it and I checked myself, and when I saw myself, the dot was still fresh, but it was
Mm-hmm. So they
dry.
did it right about here is where the Zeta did what it did with its
Right in the
tool.
center. I till this day I've been trying to look for it, but then at the same time, it's like I don't want to. It's like
Yeah.
it's just weird.
I think and we'll continue the story here. Tomorrow night when I'm on, I'd like to do a scanning of you tomorrow night.
Okay,
And I do believe you have implants. And
maybe.
I think you do. I think there was more than, I think that they didn't just come there and just extract DNA from you. I think they actually implanted you.
Yeah, and the
Um,
father of my daughters, he came like exactly 2 years ago till this day with his wife, and he came because we're not together since 2005, and he
right,
remarried, and great, I'm very friendly person. I'm not a person, so I'm like,
right.
hello, he was outside, he was procuring for my daughter, and I told him right there in front of his wife, I said, did you remember what happened to us in the year 2000 when I was pregnant from Kimberly? Can you just remember that? And he goes and says, yeah, I do. Oh my God. And I said, can you just say it? Because I don't want to say it. I want to hear it from you. And he said it. He's like, those things. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah.
Yes.
When I checked his back on his
Mm-hmm.
neck, because when he got up, he sat on the bed and his eyes were closed, and he went to hold the back of his neck.
Right.
He kept
And
saying, oh, ow, ow. I'm like, oh my God, let me see. Oh my God,
right.
let me see. And
And when
he had a triangle, two dots on the top, one dot on the bottom.
oh wow. Yeah, he was definitely they definitely did an implant on your ex. They
I
implanted
also
him.
believe they took DNA from both of us, because at
Oh,
that
they did,
very
definitely.
time,
Yeah.
we were going through a very, going through different difficult times and whatnot, and I believe they took our DNA, and I believe there might be I'm just thinking they might be another evolution of some sort.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that I'm absolutely everybody. This is Encounters. You're watching Encounters. This is Encounters, and this is a show we're on lately. If you're new to the show, you're on it for 3 years. This is an actual spiritual UFO talk show. We're here nightly at 11 o'clock. Although this weekend I'll be off. Friday and Saturday I won't be on. Sunday night I'll be back. But this is a show, and Ivy has come on here and is really sharing something important that I believe people should be hearing, because it's an incredible story and it's a true story. And there have been millions of human beings on Earth who have been either abducted, or the Zeta come into, more than one Zeta. The Zeta was floating, is able to float and go over her.
Well, he went around the bed, like
He
he
went
went around the bed, but he
around.
wasn't
He floated.
walking. There's
He
no
wasn't
way that he
walking.
was walking.
He wasn't walking. So That's really wild. And then the fact that not only did they extract DNA from her third eye, I do believe they also they implanted you. Did you have any missing time? It seems like the whole thing was happening, like there was no missing time of this thing. They were there, and you were seeing everything. Correct?
Yes, the I do not recall. Let me see. This if I go okay, this is the one encounter that was completely visual and tactile, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So prior to that, I've seen in the father of my daughters have seen some entity on top of a studio. We used to live in Henry Street in Patterson, New Jersey.
Yeah.
There was this elderly couple and they were friends with my father, and they're like, oh, we'll rent them a place, a studio. It was a great studio. And we were there for a few months, and all of a sudden I started hearing unusual scratching on the roof, and I was pregnant from my first daughter. This is the thing that I don't get. It's like all I could think about is DNA,
DNA.
because yeah, because if I
Yeah.
was pregnant from my first daughter and then all of a sudden he and I, in detail, I could tell you that story another time, but I'm just gonna quickly say what he always comes around the same time again,
Mm-hmm.
and I am aware of the time, and I just for his safety to see at least from where he's walking
Yeah.
the plants around in that other place that I'm talking about studio. There's plants, and there's a little concrete walkway, and there was like a 2 or 3 window in front of the studio where it looks that way, and
Yeah.
shades I will look through the little peak holes of the shade just to make sure it is him, because I don't want to, it could be
Yeah.
somebody. And it was him, and I remember seeing him stop in the tracks not even halfway of the walkway, which is about 25 feet far away from, from where I'm looking at him. I remember looking and I said, oh shoot, what the heck, what the heck? And he stopped and he looked on top of the studio where I'm in. And he's like, he knows I'm looking at him. For some reason, I guess from my shadow, because my light is on inside. And I guess I'm looking and he could see the shadow through the, shade. And he's like, he calls me Ivy. So my name is Nancy, by the way. But he calls me Ivy. He's like, Ivy, when I tell you I'm gonna run to the front door, when you hear me knock once, just open the door. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, just do what I'm telling you. And that's prior to that, that's another incident that happened. And I'm like, this is so crazy. So yeah, I opened the door and he went in, and I asked him, what the heck did you see up there? And that was prior to what happened
Prior
to the
to what
forehead.
happened to you. And what
And
did he
he goes
say?
and says, what I saw was this creature, very pale, with very glowing red candle orange eyes
Red
on top
candle
of the,
orange eyes. Oh
yeah.
my God.
And he said he saw that thing, and it looked like it was positioned in a kind of, how you call this, like I'm gonna attack you kind of position.
Like it was ready to do something.
Yeah, and he was so scared, but he ran.
Mhm.
And I'm like, holy crap. And I said to him, I was washing dishes, I had a nosebleed, and then I started hearing like,
Wait a minute.
that's why,
Did you
I
say you
started
had a
hearing like scratches.
you said you had a nosebleed,
Yeah, I had
correct?
a nosebleed.
That's characteristic of being abducted.
No, oh my God, I had not once, but twice.
Yeah.
But I think I used
That,
to, in my head, I'm thinking, I think I had it because I was pregnant, but it was kind of like weird. I had,
no, but that you had that during the time they were doing what they were doing. They were there. They made that happen. They actually did. They when you have a node. Let me explain something here. I'm really getting in knowledgeable about what's going on. You were implanted. That's why you had a nosebleed. They implanted you. I think you have probably more than one implant in your body. I don't mean to say this, but it's true. But I'll help you.
oh my God, I'm so
I'm going to
scared.
help you.
I'm
Don't be
so,
scared. No,
I
I will
like when
help
I'm
you.
scared and I'm like freaking out.
No, don't no, I want you to freak out if you want to. But I will I need to tomorrow night, I'm going to make a commitment on the show here. Ivy, we're going to have you on first tomorrow night. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the implants.
Holy crap.
I believe you're still having activity with the Zeta right now.
Yeah, and it drops me on my, I know I'm not, I even went as far, look, I'm going to show you something I got close to doing here.
Yeah,
My
I want to
son
see
is
this.
autistic and he just made a mess in here. So it's fine.
No, we're glad you're here.
This past, I don't know why, this past, anyway, I'm gonna say this past days, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put a camera here. I put the camera, but then something happened, and then the guy wanted me to, that was helping me on the phone. He's like, I need that number from the camera. So I had a camera there installed. I know that sounds crazy. This is the cables for the camera. I'm not joking. It says camera.
Yeah, I believe you.
Everything I say is completely truthful. I don't play games. I don't do that with people. Like I had the camera there, and then for some reason the camera does not want to work.
It doesn't want to work.
It doesn't want to work.
And
wait a minute. All of a sudden, I do not know my password for my cameras that was just set up not too long ago. I have I don't know how to explain this, but there's things I caught on video with my phone through the window in my bathroom towards the patio. My oldest daughter was like, Mom, what the hell?
Right.
I don't know. I sometimes, not sometimes, a lot of times, I'm sleeping and I feel like I was dropped from the ceiling of this home and dropped so hard on my bed.
Yeah.
I wake up with this. That's
the
my
mark
leg.
there? Yeah. The marking there is, I
It's
believe,
behind my
an
calf.
implant. Does it feel, when you touch it, does it feel like a lump or something hard there?
Let me see.
I'll tell you if it's an implant right now.
I can't tell.
Yeah.
I'm so tensed up, my body.
No, I understand. See, folks, I think, by the way, people, please tap on my side of the screen. We're at 77.8. We should be over 100,000 likes here. If you don't tap on my screen, those numbers at the right top don't go up. It's 77.8. I need everybody to tap that screen, get us over 100,000 before 1:30.
And the
on the
reason
East
I know
Coast.
I'm being dropped is because I have injuries in my body and I had surgeries in my body. And lately, I did had a car accident like 2018,
Oh, you did?
2019.
Okay.
And I never got to check my whatever arm. And all of a sudden, my arm is swollen and it's very inflamed. It's like when I look at it, I'm like, oh, shoot, I think I have a broken arm. It's terrible. I know. It's terrible.
So beyond the accident, I read the energy of your whole body without doing the scanning right now. You do have, I believe, 3 different implants that have been going on. The Zeta, now let's talk about currently in 2025. I do believe that you have the Zeta still coming to your house, correct?
Yeah.
I know they are.
I know they are.
They know that she still has Zeta, folks. If you're watching this show, this is a learning experience. You need to stop scanning TikTok and sit here and watch encounters.
I am not sleeping now because I'm afraid to fall asleep late.
And I didn't want to get you to be afraid of anything. I want to at least do one thing to protect you, and then tomorrow night we'll deal with the implants.
I sleep with prayers too, and when I wash my face or I take a shower, I know people might be laughing at this, but when I take a shower,
no, they're not.
It's created such a PTSD possibly at this point that when I'm washing my face or I actually felt a very cold breeze behind my back right now. This is crazy. Whatever.
Okay.
It's probably my anxiety.
You're okay. You're okay.
When I wash my face, and I suffered from rosacea and cystic acne for years, and for the first time in 9 days, or I'm gonna say 14 days from now, my face started completely, the bumps and everything started going bye-bye, whatever. Maybe it's my hormone, maybe it's the amoxicillin I took, and the beef tallow I just started myself. But to say this is that when I wash my face or I take a shower, I
Mm-hmm.
don't feel as I used to be as a person, you know, like comfortable. No, I always, like, if
Feel
my
you're
daughter
being
says,
watched.
"Mom, I want to go to the mall with my fiance," and then I'm left home alone because my
Mm-hmm.
son is with the dad or going to school over there, and my oldest daughter is, you know, married and have kids. So I'm like
Mm-hmm.
alone in my home,
Mm-hmm.
and I really don't. It reminds me back to those
No,
times. And I get
no,
so scared. Like, I want to wash my face quick. And I'm like, I know I feel this energy. And I'm
you're
like, have to
completely
close the
stressed
door.
out too. You're stressed out, and one of the
Mhm.
things is now I'm not doing implant removal tonight, but I'm doing things backwards here. So what I want to do is something just very simple. I'd like to put a shield around you tonight. It'll be a permanent shield. I'm going to send a beam of light into your home that will protect you.
Thank
And
you.
tomorrow night, what I'm going to do is tomorrow night, when I start on early at 11 o'clock, I will commit to working in my space consciousness. And I will actually not only scan for implants, I will get the implants out, and I'm going to go
I
after
just want to let you know I have, I think, one or two, but they're not from those beings. They're like, they saw cystic acne, not cystic acne, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
cysts in my breast area. And it's been years since 2015. I haven't gone back because when they show the needle and they had a camera, me looking at the camera,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
remind me of that. And I don't want to sound like a crazy person in a
You're not a
doctor's
crazy person.
office
You're
and tell
really
them
not.
why I don't like that procedure.
Yeah. So, have you? Let me ask you a question. Have you seen me take out implants on the show?
This is the first, I think I saw your show a couple of times. And of course, my anxiety, I'm like, you know, I was afraid to talk about it. I was like, no. And then I scroll out, and then I came across again, and I seen the background, and I'm like, remember what I saw with my brother and all this stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I would like people to, I want to make people aware of what my experience is. So
Hmm.
maybe there's a connection.
Yeah, part of me wants to do the implants now, but part of me wants to wait till tomorrow night. What I'm going to do right now, you'll feel this. I want you to close. What I'm going to do, everybody here, if you're new to the show, I work in space consciousness. I'm one of the only other person besides my friend April that can take out implants, and that's absolutely correct. I do. And people are going to say, Commander, how do you take out the implants? And people ask me that question. My father is on a spaceship, on an Ashtar command ship. It's a real ship. They're real people that are human, that are very, very beautiful. And I have two sisters and a brother, a mother named Luna, a father named Robar, and they are taller than I am, and they're on a ship. And he gifted me last year with the ability to do certain things. And I do it with the palm of my hands. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to scan you. I want people to see this. I'm going to scan you tonight. I don't think this can really wait.
Thank
I think
you. I'm
I'm
so
going to scan you
scared.
now.
It's
But I,
like
I want to explain.
anytime there's an encounter, I'm like, okay, I'm waiting for it.
Yeah,
So it
yeah.
sounds
No,
crazy.
I'm
It
going
sounds like I'm
to.
a crazy person at this
You're
point
not a
because
crazy
I'm
person.
aware.
And I want to educate my new audience, the people that are new here. This is not your typical UFO show. I am able to scan people. I've done over 100 implant removals since last year with the palm of my hands. So if you want to see what this is like, please stay here. This is part of her story, and I'm going to help her tonight because I need to, and I'm going to get rid of the implants. I'm going to destroy them, take them out of her body. They will be destroyed. I will send beams of light to clear all the energies in their house. And I will tell you right now that those beings that did that to you are going to be very afraid of what I'm going to do. Because what I'm going to do is go after
Well,
them,
I want
and
to
they're going
add,
to be
thank you
kicked
so
off
much.
planet.
I just wanted it to add to you that I remember I left that out from my anxiety. I remember telepathically that thing telling me if you were to speak about this encounter or anything, because he couldn't erase me. He could not. He knew
Mm-hmm.
that I had some kind of like, I don't know, evolved thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And he told me if you were to talk about these things, basically like you gonna get sick and die. That's basically what he kind of said. So I was afraid to talk about it, and I'm not afraid no more because I just don't, I kind of, I'm gonna say I'm a little afraid because it's kind of scary to see something that is not human in front of you.
Right.
No,
Well, their whole thing is they have done this to
but I also
multiple
want people to
humans.
know.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, I know. You're speaking for a lot of people that might be watching now that have been abducted or played with by these Zeta, and that's who they are. So I'm going to do this. It won't take me long. It's 1:27 in the morning. You're watching Encounters. I'm CmdrAleon, the host of the show. I also am a space person. I work in cosmic Christed consciousness. My space family comes from a very high frequency, and everything I do here is documented on my YouTube channel. So what I want to do, Ivy, I want you to close your eyes and relax.
Sorry, there's one thing.
Go ahead.
My anxiety obviously is still worse, and this is not making it easy, but I have to vape once because it's so bad. I'm so sorry, guys. I apologize. I'm trying to work on that too. But I'm a very like I don't know, like I don't know what is next after having different scenarios. I don't know what's next, and I'm afraid that the when I was watching the fourth kind, I don't want to know the last one. I really don't. Nobody wants to know
Yeah,
that one. So yeah,
yeah.
it's just so
No,
creepy.
no worries, no worries. I'm already in my space consciousness. Watch out for the smoking. No, you can't do that on the camera. No, leave the thing alone. Don't do that because
No, sorry.
TikTok will take me off the air for that,
Oh, I'm so
and we
sorry.
don't want that. Yeah, yeah.
All right, we're
Um,
good. Yeah, I'm
so
very. I think that these things are evolving through people, and if without us, there's no them. So I
right.
don't know. It's like we have
Well,
something that they
well, I'm
need.
going to help you right here. So I'm going to calm you down a little bit. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to take a deep breath and breathe in, and then breathe out of your nostril a couple of times until you're relaxed, and then I'll begin to start. What I'm going to do, people who are watching this for the first time, scanning my show, this is Encounters. I'm a talk show host on radio. I'm also connected with the Ashtar Command. Some of you have never heard of it. I am connected with the Ashtar Command, which are uh, positive space people of light, a very high frequency. So I'm going to be doing with Ivy now is I'm now going to start connecting with her energy at the top of her head, and I'm going to scan her. Ivy, when you are fully relaxed, and you will start feeling the energy in a minute, I'm now operating with my palms here. I'm going to start feeling the aura around her head first. And now I'm going to focus on her. I'm going to switch over to my space consciousness. And what you're going to witness here is something you will not see anywhere else. And you're going to witness me removing the implants out of her physical body. This is real. And as you feel the energy, I'm going to amp up the heat, the beams of light. I'm starting to amp them up right now. I can start feeling her energy around her head. And when I do that, they will feel my energy.
Oh my god.
You feel it?
Oh my god. What's going? I see these lights. Like around
Relax.
my movement of
Yes.
light, and
Yes. I'm shooting light energy into your body. Hold on, please.
I am not joking. This is. I wish people could see what I'm looking at. It's like
Oh,
marbles, like lights.
keep your eyes closed. I'm going to scan you now for the implants, and everything I do here is
Oh my
real, brothers
god,
and sisters.
you're scaring me.
Don't
It's
get
like
scared.
lightning. It's like lightning.
No, it's beams of light. We're going to clear the cellular structure of your body. I'm going to get the implants out of you so that you're not going to be attacked by those beings anymore. Just relax. Just relax. It's all good. Nothing to be concerned or worried about. Just relax. Just relax. You're good. You're loved. You're loved more than you know. You're
Thank you.
good.
Oh my god.
Nothing to be afraid of anymore. Never again. As I scan you, I will find the implants. If you need to take a deep breath, take a deep breath. Relax. Breathe. Breathe. And when
Something's
I come
in
to,
my head. My hair
yes,
just moved on the top of my head.
what just moved at the top of your head?
Yes.
Okay, when I get to the implant, you'll tell me to
This is
stop.
scary. I'm gonna be honest. This is so scary.
I know you've been through a lot more scarier things. This is going to be helping you be free from the implants and all the negative things these beings did to you.
I feel like there's something over there to my left, but I don't. It's
Okay, you
weird.
can relax. When I hit the implant, let me know because I'm going to be close to one of them. So I'm going to actually use beams of light to touch it. Don't be scared. All I'm going to do is feel the implant and then I'm going to take it out. I feel like energy of an implant in your head somewhere. Hold on a minute. Excuse me.
And now I see like this pinkyish, reddish light in front of me going sideways. It's just weird.
Mm, yeah, you're okay. Don't be scared.
It's like a laser. It's weird.
Yeah. Well, I call it a beam of light. A beam of light, but you could call it a laser. I'm just clearing the energy and I'm going to find the implant. Right in your head here, there's one implant about right about there. I'm gravitating towards sideways on the right side on an angle to the left side. So I'm going to go right there. I'll be touching the implant. It's not going to hurt. I'm just going to let you know I'm touching it and then I'm going to take it out. And when I'm touching it, let me know. I'm almost there. It will not hurt. Right about there. Right there. Relax. Relax. Right there. It's in between the back end of your head to the front area where your eyes are. I'm going to take it out. Relax, please. Breathe deeply. Let go, let go, let go. Be free. Let go. You're safe with the commander. You're safe with us.
Now I see these weird lights, like ripples of kind of grayish blue. This is so
Yeah.
crazy. I
That's
can't.
okay. We're going to take the implant out. There's one here. I'm going to pull it out. It's not going to hurt. I'll do it very gently. I'm severing the implant. I'm going to take it out. Relax. Take a deep
Noises
breath
around
as
my
I do
room.
this.
There's noises around my room.
We'll deal with if those beings are there, I'm going to get rid of them.
God.
Relax. They can't stop me because I have way more power than they do. Relax.
Lord have mercy.
Relax. Breathe. Breathe in and breathe out. Allow yourself to relax. You've been through a whole lot. Your life is going to be way better after I do this.
I'm so afraid.
Don't be afraid. They want you to be afraid. I'm here to help you. Don't be afraid. Don't give up your power. Keep your
There's
eyes
noises
closed.
outside. This is so crazy. I can't.
I will get rid of the Zeta. I will get rid of them. Keep your eyes closed. I'm going to go after them after we get the implants out. Okay, I'm pulling the one out of the head area. I'm shaking. You're going to feel like a shake a little bit. I'm pulling it out.
More noises outside now. Like
I'll,
explosions of some kind. I don't know what's going on. Or this is so
don't
crazy.
don't worry about that. We'll take care of you here. I'm here to take care of what's going on with you. I promise we're going to get rid of the implants in your body. Just relax and just be allowing yourself to relax. You've been through a lot. That's why you're here. I'm here to help you.
Thank you.
I'm shooting beams of light into the brain area. I'm going to dissolve the implant in your head with the palm of my hands. I'm amping up the energy. I'm amping up heat, beams of light energy actually. My palms are heating up quite a bit. Give me a moment. And just release and allow yourself to breathe. You need to allow yourself to breathe. Don't hold on to your breath. Breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. We love you. You're a beautiful person. You're a beautiful being.
Thank you.
Let yourself know that you are beautiful.
I am beautiful.
And no one can harm you ever. They will not be allowed to touch you ever again.
I see this beautiful light. It's like, looks like very fine glitter in the center top of my forehead. It's so weird. It's like it's coming in like nonstop.
Yes. Yes. I've cleared all the energy out of your brain area. I pulled the implant out. I'm now healing your head area where the implant was. I'm taking care of that area. We're going to work on the rest of you. And I'm going to find any other implants and I'll take them all out and you'll be free.
Thank
Then
you.
I'll go after those beings that did this to you.
Thank you so much.
And just keep breathing and relaxing. We love you. Keep breathing and relaxing.
Thank you.
Breathing and relaxing.
Folks, it's not easy just to sitting here and close your eyes when you know what you've been through. So
No, and people understand that. So relax.
it's
Relax. Turn your brain off for a minute. No, turn it off more than a minute. Turn your brain off. Turn your brain off. I'm going to start scanning your shoulders. And when I go to any other implants, as soon as I hit the implant, I'll shoot beams of light through your body. And when I hit an implant, you'll say, just tell me to stop and I'll pull it out. We're checking now the shoulders and we're going down towards the upper part of your body to the waist. So now I'm concentrating on our waist area. I feel like there's like a bubble, usually when there's an implant, I feel like a bubble, like a ball of energy there that's sitting there. So right here, again, I'm over here in Connecticut, she's in New Jersey. I'm scanning her waist area, and I think there's a second implant is right here. I'm gonna put a little beam of energy in here so Ivy can feel me touching it. It's not gonna hurt. I'm just gonna touch it like it'll be like a tingle. Right here. Tell me when you feel it, Ivy.
Is it in my abdomen to my left?
Yeah, it's definitely, again, where I am, it's like I'm getting it on an angle, and it's definitely in the waist area.
Yeah, I
Something
felt that right here.
right?
Here.
Yeah, it's right here. So yeah, we're going to neutralize the implant in that area. We're going to take it out right now. That's the second implant. Hold on, keep your eyes closed, relax. We love you. Breathe. Now I'm going to sever the implant and pull it out.
So then there's this light that just came. It's purple and it's radiating. It looks like a flower. It keeps opening and closing, and
yes,
it's just very weird. And I feel like a weird little pain here.
Okay, we're getting rid of the thing. The implant, we're going to pull it out, and the flowers in the pink are representations of a light frequency. That's why you're seeing the beautiful lights you're seeing, because we're getting the
Yeah, it
implants
looks
out.
like the the aurora borealis, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm now going to pull the implant out. I'm shaking it a little bit. Usually when I take these implants out with everybody, each individual, I'll let you feel like a vibrational pattern. And you'll feel me shaking it, the implant out. I severed it. I'm taking it out of the body on the waist area. I'm pulling it out. Almost out. You'll hear a popping sound in a minute. Give me a minute. The popping sound is just at the end of the implant that's coming out of your body. It'll be like a pop. I can't explain it. Almost. Almost. There'll be no pain when I take it out. There's no pain. I'm just going to take it out. When you hear the popping sound, let me know. You should hear it in a minute. I'm dissolving the implant.
I just heard my stomach rumble.
Okay. Well, that could be part of it. Almost done here. Almost done here. And right now I'm going to shoot beams of light where I took the implant out. You're going to feel light energy coming through. Your consciousness might see pictures or images of
I
the
do,
light
and
energy.
I was gonna tell you that I see this black eye is weird. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a small eye. I just see the one eye. It keeps appearing this weird
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to shoot light energy in where I took the implant out. I'm now healing the body where the implant is. That's I always do that. I heal the inner skin part of the body, whether the implant was. I'm now clearing all the energy in the chest area and also in the waist area. I'm now going to scan down below the leg area, and then we'll just do rescan from the leg area to the foot area, back up to the head area, just to make sure she's okay. Hold on a minute. Now I'm going to amp up the beams of light through the right and left leg. I'm going to shoot beams of light through the cellular structure of her body. And after I do that, it'll clear all residual energy from the zeta. I'm now shooting energy up through the chest to the head area. Okay, now I'm scanning your head area. I'm shooting beams of light into your head where the implant was. And we're now healing what they did to you internally throughout your brain area and your whole head area around your third eye. Give me a moment. I want you to keep your eyes closed. I want you to say these words. These are very powerful words. I am
I am
a cosmic,
a cosmic.
Christed.
Sorry.
I am
I am
a cosmic,
a cosmic,
Christed
Christed
being
being
of light.
of light.
I am now free.
I am now free.
I am unconditional love.
I am unconditional love.
I am now empowered,
I am now empowered,
and I can never be abducted again.
and I can never be adopted again.
I want you to keep your eyes closed. I'm going to be gifting you in a minute. I want to go after the Zeta. I'm going to go after the Zeta. I'm not physically going to go after them. I'm going to send beams of light into your house. These beams of light will find the Zeta and chase them away from you. They're going to be forced off planet. The
Amen.
Zeta are going to be forced off planet. Give me a moment. For what people that don't know what I'm doing, multidimensional, I have just removed implants in her physical body. My father gifted me with this ability last year on the spaceship.
I see this green kind of sizzling like soda. I don't know how to explain it.
Mm-hmm.
Thing coming from the bottom up.
Mm-hmm. The beams of light that are in your body that I put there, they're going to actually work on your body for the next 24 hours. You're going to have clearing of all the energy that was, all the things they did to you are being destroyed. They'll not be in your body anymore.
Thank you so much.
And also, we're going after the Zeta, so let me focus on that for a moment. I'm sending 2 beams of light to go after specifically those Zeta beings. They're going to scan the whole building. They're going to clarify all energy. We're going to take all the residual energy out of the home that you're in. But we are going after them. When we catch them, they're going to be taken off planet on a one-way trip out of Earth. So they will never come back again. My other gift to you is this. I want you to keep your eyes closed. I'm going to put a light shield over your body. And I'm going to do that now. Keep your eyes closed. You're going to feel this. It's a very, very beautiful thing. And you're going to feel light energy over your body, an overlay. It's a protection suit that I'm putting over you that nobody can see. You will feel it in a moment. Let me know when you start feeling the energy.
Okay.
It should start just about now. Relax. Take a deep breath. You'll feel it. Tell me when.
I actually feel like this mantle. I don't know if it's silky. It feels like it's silky. I'm looking right at it. It's like all over. There's no more colors. It's just this very fine mantle. That's all I could see.
Mm-hmm. I'm now putting the shield around you. I'm going to amp it up so you can feel it. I'm slowly going over your head with it. It will be very, very, when you go out anywhere, you'll be protected.
Thank you. Yeah, it's gotten thicker.
Yes. Your whole body is now protected. I'm going to just scan back up again. I'm putting another layer of protection around you. You may open your eyes now, Ivy. Look into the camera.
Oh my goodness.
I want you
Thank
to
you
give us
so
a
much.
smile. You're now free.
Oh my
I'm
Lord.
going after the Zeta myself personally. The Zeta will no longer attack you. They will no longer be there.
I
I put
actually
beams.
feel now, I don't know why, but I don't feel the fear I felt before. It's weird. I feel more comfortable.
Yeah. I've healed your body, taken out the implants. I'm going after the Zeta. They're never going to come near you again, ever.
I honestly don't want to say like this, but honest to God, I feel some peace that I never felt before until I had that interaction. So for sure, I feel like I'm protected.
Yeah. No more distractions. You can live, and you're now empowered. You're
Thank you
protected.
so much. From the bottom of my soul, thank you so much. There were so many things going on around me at once that I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, what's going on? I'm aware of wood expanding and contracting, but these noises are not like normal noises. When you were doing this, or when you were to start it, I heard like, I don't know, my TV cracking a lot, and I felt something walking next to me and going back over there towards that door to the patio that I have there.
Yeah.
So I was like, what's going on
So
here?
when I started doing this, did they disappear? The walking just disappear?
Completely. And then I started hearing, when you were in the like in the middle, I started hearing like popping sounds outside and in my patio. I'm like, what's going on? It sounds like somebody's taking like, how you call those things?
Yeah, I
Firecrackers. But
understand.
it was so unusual because this is not like, you know.
They probably were watching what I was doing. They knew that I was coming after them, and I had the power to come after them as a Christed being of light, space person. I got rid of them. They were afraid of me. I overpowered
They
them.
were confrontational to me, to the point it was like one of them, like the one went like this to me, and it's like going like this, and then it just completely vanished. It was so weird
Yeah,
what I saw,
yeah,
and it was trying to intimidate, and I just was standing my ground. And
yeah,
thank you so much.
yeah. And Marcus, I think we'll hold off on our interview, Marcus, to tomorrow night. We'll bring you on tomorrow night, Marcus, at 11 for the spaceship video footage. But Ivy, I'm glad I listened to what you were talking about, and I couldn't let it go. I had to do the work tonight. I
Thank
really
you.
had to.
Mostly appreciate it. I appreciate it very much. This means
Yeah,
a lot to me. It's been years of that, and I feel more stronger. I
yeah.
feel more secure, and
And
I don't
Cosmic Rose
feel
is
as
right.
afraid as I was
Yeah,
before.
look at you. She looks so much better. Drink a lot of water, though.
Thank you. My mom told me the same thing.
Yeah, plenty of water. It'll help your cellular structure, and spend time with ambient, higher dimensional space music, and do get into using that music.
I hear
Like,
frequencies a lot.
oh, good. And
Yeah.
now you're going to be clear, and eventually you'll be able to contact your actual space family, because everybody has one. The reason why you couldn't do it because they were interfering with you, and they were doing what they did. They will never ever touch you again. I'm basically kicking their cosmic butts out of the planet.
Thank you.
Yeah, look at her. Look how much better she is. You know, wow,
It's,
what a difference.
yeah. That was a very scary thing. I honestly could say I could just imagine how many more people are out there who are afraid, who are feeling ridicule, or who are feeling like embarrassed to even talk about this. And
Yeah,
there's definitely something going on. So
yeah. Well, for you, it's going to be now going on in a good way. And your face, people are commenting how glowing your face is. I see it. Your
thank
face is so much
you.
more glowing.
Even though I
It's
had the
amazing.
rosacea, but it was
Oh,
so
that
bad
your
that if
face is
you would have
beautiful.
asked
You
me
know.
to take a video, I would have declined it, because even though it's looking a little here and there, if you guys were to see my face before,
Yeah, no, you're
give up.
fine.
I really gave up. I'm like, this thing is taking over. It's what's going on. So yeah, there might be a lot of people out there. I'm
And
not strong,
hopefully,
but people.
and like I said, myself and April are the only two people. If you're anybody else saying they can take out implants on TikTok, do not believe what they say. Oh, wait a minute. My app just started talking to me. I have like one of those apps. Like, I'm not mentioning what it is. It's the one that everybody has. She just started talking. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. That happens every once in a while. But definitely, I thank you. We love you.
More. Thank you
The
more.
Ashtar Command loves you. I love you. I'm CmdrAleon, and I'm with the Ashtar Command. I'm
I
also
love
the
you
host of the
too, and
show.
I love everyone in this show. And you guys take really good care about out there. And if you guys need help, for sure, hands down, talk to, what is your name? Sorry,
CmdrAleon.
Commander Leon. So yeah, De Leon, right?
Yeah, Aleon, Aleon, like Aleon.
Leon.
Aleon.
Okay,
Yes.
sorry.
That's
Um,
okay. You're good.
I'm getting older, so
No, you're not. You're getting younger.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys very much. And again, if one word of advice is that I could honestly say to a lot of people is it's beautiful out there, gorgeous out there, and never like that's one thing I'm gonna start doing. Never go over there to the woods alone. And even if you go alone, wear a tracking beacon bracelet because that comes in handy.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
water for sure.
And now also, I have the ability to do this too, but I just want you to know that you're protected.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
I just want you to know you're protected now.
Thank you
Yeah,
for
you are.
sure. Thank you so much. And thank you for having me in the show and for people to listen these true crazy stories I wish I never went
Your
through.
story was not crazy. Your story was an example of somebody who'd been through, I would say, the Zeta were trying to control you and not let you be free, and they will never, ever touch you again, ever.
That's good. Thank you.
Okay? And now that you have that light power within you, and the work we're doing on the light energy in your body is going to protect you forever, forever and ever and ever.
Thank you so much.
All right, I'm going to bring you down as we get close to almost 2 in the morning. Thanks for being here. It was really important for me to do this tonight with you. I couldn't wait. So thank you so much for having confidence in what I do.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm going to bring her down. And I want to thank everybody for being here. If you are wanting to be live with me tomorrow night again, yeah, I went overtime. Yeah, I sure did go overtime, but it was worth it. And I am very happy for her now. You know, very, very happy for her. Shayla, thank you. You know, now I'm a little bit tired, so I'm going to get some sleep, I think. I want to thank everybody for being here. We got over 117,003. We had 5,400 people watch the show since 11 o'clock. 5,400 people were watching the show since 11 o'clock. Thank you, everybody who came in here for a few minutes. I'm going to get some rest. I'm going to, do that. And we'll have this show on TikTok tomorrow. I mean, on TikTok, on YouTube. Please press the follow button on my bio. Press that before you go. Go up to my bio, press the follow button and the like button, please. Thanks, everybody, for being here. I love you all. Take care. This has been Encounters, a show that's out of this world.